Sunday mornings and midnight lights turn into songs that you watch me write. Stole your sweater on that night. You took a picture, keep by my bedside. So you're mine when you're gone, baby, please don't be long. I got my ticket to the west side. You say my name with your accent, makes me remember how much I missed you. Hope you're planning to stay for a million days. You'll be my summer in December. Hey boy, trust my intuitions always. I'm not superstitious, I got lucky. Stole your heart and it was mine for the taking. It was mine for the taking. It was mine for a million days. In a million ways. Stole your heart and I got lucky. Stole your heart and it was mine in a million ways. For a million days.
I'll take the blame. I've seen the world go down in flames. I felt the strain of every loss I can't reclaim. Our steps retraced from when we went our separate ways. I've missed these days. I never thought we'd see this place again. I know the feelings always fade, but nothing else could make me stay. It's not too late for us to slip away.
Hello and welcome into the Boise State Game Pants Esports Arena. We're here today for the USO Invitational Qualifier powered by Geico Military. It is week 1. Since 1941, the USO has been the nation's leading organization to serve the men and women in the U.S. military and their families throughout their time in uniform. From the moment they join through their assignment, deployment, as they transition back to their communities, the USO is always by their side. It's going to be a fantastic 6 weeks here. Every single Thursday from 4 to 6 Mountain Time, we'll have several teams competing to finish in the top 8 of this USO Invitational Qualifier. And if they do that, well, there's some good things coming their way. As I mentioned, this is week 1. We'll take a look at, I believe, 20 teams getting signed up here today. They will play one game every single week in a Swiss format. And when the top 8 teams have been established at the end of all of this, they will qualify for the USO Finals, where there's a $10,000 prize pool on the line. They'll be competing against winners from every other tournament. You see right there, it is a best of 3, 3v3, 6-week Swiss bracket, 1 match per week per team. And as I mentioned, the top 8 teams from this league will qualify for the USO Invitational and a shot at a $10,000 prize pool. It is going to be a ton of fun, so everybody knows. And a reminder, this competition was free to enter for both military and civilian competitors. Top 8 teams, as I said, at the end of this tournament will compete against other tournament winners for their shot at a $10,000 prize pool. We will get to that much later on. I said this is just week 1. All teams that have placed in the top 3 of any USO Rocket League Finals tournament, meaning you have received pricing, have already qualified for the USO Invitational. So a great chance to look at some new teams that we haven't seen. It is going to be a ton of fun. Rocket League, also one of those games that is going to be a ton of fun to watch. Going to be awesome. I've heard a lot of teams getting involved in this tournament. Cannot wait to see who we get a chance to take a look at this week, who makes a name for themselves, and who's able to maybe make a run in the next few weeks. As I said, this is a 6-week tournament. Only week 1 here tonight. They're playing 1 game a week. So just because you get off to a bad start does not mean it's the end of your road. And I also am a huge fan of the Swiss format, making sure that, hey, if you start 3-0 and I start 3-0, then we're going to have a matchup there in week 4. So we keep the top teams always facing off against each other. Should be a ton of fun. Cannot wait to get into it. It's going to be an awesome experience here by the USO. We have seen some fantastic events from them. I, of course, am Michael Fisher. We'll be joined by our co-host here in a little bit. But before they are able to join us, it does look like we are going to have the very special Doc Haskell hopping on desk here for a little bit.
Hey, always happy to do it. Sorry about my beard cover. No beard at all here. This is going to be really cool. I'm excited for this event specifically. I mean, so much at stake, and anybody can jump in and join.
Yeah, it's going to be a ton of fun. I mean, the $10,000 prize pool, it's going to be awesome. And I cannot wait to see who comes out on top. We've seen some fantastic teams in our previous USO events. This is going to be no exception. And I'm sure there's going to be a name at the end of this who we're going to all fall in love with. So,
there's some fantastic programs and teams that we've seen before. Eclipse Esports is going to be in this one again. We saw them in one of the earlier tournaments. And then there's this slew of university teams, which are the new, sub-pro. In so many ways. I mean, we've got Florida Tech. It's the first time we're going to see them on the big stage. Danny Husted leaving Grandview University, taking over that program at Florida Tech. Who can blame her? Palm trees. and they're going to be in their first, competitive effort. We've got UT Dallas. Everybody knows that name. Greg Adler's made them maybe the most popular group out there. Any other names jump off the page to you?
I know. I remember hearing that Wyoming, kind of our Mountain West representative, if you will. It's going to be in this tournament as well. Kind of, rooting for them as sort of our local neighbors. So, as you said, there's a ton of great universities, which is absolutely spectacular. There's also, I'm sure, some other teams that we have never heard of who are going to make a great run. And I'm hoping we get a chance to take a look at a lot of them since it's just 1 game per week for each team. I think that really works out that we'll be able to see almost every team, as opposed to if it's a bracket, you get a bad matchup. We never get to see you on stream. I'm a big fan of hopefully we'll get to take a look at almost everybody, if not everybody, every single week and kind of watch these players grow and get better and get closer and closer to that $10,000 prize pool at the USO Invitational once they qualify.
And they're going to have some really tough teams to go up against in that Invitational as we kind of work through this.
Yeah, we've seen some insanely good teams. As I mentioned, in the top 8 for this tournament, we're all said and done at the end of the 6-week Swiss format will qualify for the USO Invitational. They'll be going up against teams that have finished in top 3 at any other USO Experience Rocket League Finals event. So there's going to be a ton of pressure not only to get out of this group, because as we said, we've been naming off some of the teams. There's going to be probably a team or two we haven't heard of who makes an incredible run. Then you qualify. Then you've got even more tough teams to go against. It's going to be a ton of fun. I cannot wait. These next 5 or 6 Thursdays are going to be absolutely awesome to see who is going to come out on top, who rises to the top. And maybe if a team has a bad week 1 start and then maybe makes a crazy comeback at the very end, those are always my favorite storylines to follow as well.
So this is always an interesting thing to think about. But in a Swiss format, it does not benefit you to be undefeated. You get a much bigger pool in the second week if you have a loss. Some people have suggested that in the first week of any kind of Swiss format, it's important for you to not win so that you can always face more consistent opponents and not just be facing down just the murderers row.
But that is an interesting suggestion, but I'm always a big fan of just winning because you never want to be that team that, okay, let's maybe do this in week 1, open up a better pool, and then maybe something crazy happens in week 2 or week 3, and then all of a sudden you're like, wait, we're better than this. Why are we 0-2? Why are we 1-2? So, I'm always a big fan of if you're on top and you're 4-0, who cares if you go down to 4-1? Being at 4-0 puts you in a lot better spot, that already kind of in that probably top 8 than it is like, oh, we got to win this week. If we don't win this week, we're done. So I'm always a big fan of just, hey, win, take care of business, control your own destiny. I never liked the whole, well, if this team loses and then this team ties and then this team has to go to overtime and then we have to win by 5+ goals. Like, I don't want to deal with that. That's way too much.
It's way too much. Also, it discounts the possibility that there's a very mediocre team that drew, the League of the Decrepit in week 1, and while they do have a win, it is maybe not an indication of their ability.
Yeah, it's going to do a really good job of, you always hate when you have a tournament and you're like, well, that team had the easy road. They didn't have to go up against the same row we did. We're the real champions. Now it's like, hey, look, you guys both met at 3-0. If you beat them 2-0 by 10 goals each time, clearly maybe their record was inflated. It's a really good job, I think, of making sure. But at the end of the tournament, you can say the top 8 is exactly the top 8 deserves to be because they played the toughest schedules. Not, well, that team, like, they got lucky. Somebody no-showed. Somebody else forfeit. Someone else had a 3v2. This one really removes all the excuses that teams can try and make about, well, that team had an easier run. No. You played who you're equal skill against based on your record, and I cannot wait. I'm excited to get in this first matchup, see some of the teams, as you mentioned, making their debuts. Of course, I think Wyoming's kind of the team, at least in my mind, that I'm going to be rooting for just a little bit because they are our neighbors here, just a few states away in Idaho. So love to see the Mountain West get a representative, and anytime Boise State's not involved. So would absolutely love to see Wyoming make a good start to this week and get a win here in whoever their first game is going to be.
So with no multiple tiers, how do you get yourself up for this first match?
Oh, that is a great question. It's actually going to hop right into it. It is Florida Tech that you were talking about.
Let's go.
I think you just have to come in and really just assume that the other team's better than you. You just have to say, you know what, we're the underdogs. I think that's exactly what you got to do as Florida Tech here taking on Abstract. Florida Tech in the blue, off to a slow start as Skies got it right for the net. And what a great goal from Skies to start off.
Oh, my goodness. It comes up against the wall, gets that nice little flip reset and says, boop, let's put it in with the spoiler. Balloons, goodness.
Yeah, and Abstract had the ball the whole time. We did not see the kickoff as something that we talk about every single week, no matter the format, no matter who's playing. You got to win your kickoffs. So we got a great chance here from Berto. Oh, barely stopped by Schmack. Do they have a follow-up from Dask? They do not. The Skies now looking for a pass over to a teammate. Bumpin has control. Oh, he wanted to knock Berto out of the way. Schmack going up for it. Oh, what a great dribble by Berto for the game-tying goal here early on.
Berto with the filthy little boop right back in there. The follow-up is key. Getting down there fast says, I'll take it right over the top. Couldn't get there in time. Nice try, nice try, Abstract, Florida Tech with the tie.
Yeah, this kickoff goes, Skies with a clean win, but immediately hit back by Florida Tech. Ends up right in Bumpin's lap. Nice challenge, though, by Dask, who's going to dribble it up the field. Kind of hits off the wall, loses his dribble, but a teammate's going to bail him out as Grover looking for something in front of the net, but cleared away there.
Bumpin struggling early, Skies, too, to get enough boost. Really on the side of Florida Tech, stealing the big pots right there, keeping them low. Finally, they get a little bit. They might be able to get a good clear out of this. And they do. Actually, that was the key. A little bit of boost, got a big clear. But Florida Tech doing a nice job of keeping the pressure high and starving that boost early.
Roberto with a nice denial. Doesn't have a teammate, though, so Sky is going to reset. Once again, Florida Tech looking for a clear. They've got to get this at angles here. It's just being denied over and over by Abstract. You can see the Florida Tech boost starting to reach critical levels. Berto misses. Sky with the great punish.
Yeah, great punish. That was a nice assist there by Bumpin to reset it right back in the middle. Schmack just kind of patrolling on the outside. We could see it from their view. Balloons again.
Nice start here for Abstract. Still plenty of time, though. Of course, it is game one. Everything's a best of 3. So plenty of time for Florida Tech as Grover demoed off the kickoff. Schmacked with a huge pass over to Bumpin. Dask with a nice little challenge, though. Now Sky's going to go up for it. You see the boost once again, critical for Florida Tech. Sky's, though, denied right in front of the net.
Florida Tech all on the Berto side right now. No participation really from either of the other Florida Tech players. They need to get in this game really quick. In fact, Basic sitting on a big old 0 there with just almost no touches.
Dask looking for something here. Got Berto near midfield, stolen away by Skies. Looking to drop it down for a teammate. It's Schmack, get the 1v2, gets a great goal.
That is really nice. As you see, 2 shots now, 2 goals, 1 big save, a couple of demos, the splash.
It's a great job by Skies. 2 shots, 2 goals, and assists. Skies been the MVP so far for Abstract. Right there, once again, huge dunk over Grover, racing Berto to the ball. Berto's at least going to stop this one, but Florida Tech needs a little bit of side control as Grover looking to set something up. Can't find it. Skies just immediately takes possession.
That's right. Berto breaks his own axles right there, trying to get that ball up. Big, nice, long clear. Can anybody get in front of it? The retouch high off the backboard. That's really the only thing that saved it right there. Doing a nice job, I think, in side control now at the 2.5-minute mark, halfway through this first game. Abstract really just putting it back, forcing them just to react. They're not any control here. Couldn't get a big clear until just now.
Bumpin immediately resets that clear, though. Going to pinch it all the way back to the blue side. Berto, touch stolen away. Kind of spikes it in front of his own net.
Nice clear.
Huge clear there into the corner.
Follows.
Ooh, double commit. Can they punish it? Nice demo in front of the net. Dask, you got to do something. Make a play, and he does.
There it is. Dask saying, see, I've been on this team the whole time. Score doesn't show it, but there I am. Really, really nice adjustment midair to get that nose on it, and they can't stop it.
Great demo by Grover as well. Now adding a second one to their list of medals. Keeping Florida Tech in it as we have just under 2 minutes left. Skies, another great kickoff win. Bumpin just kind of touch, immediately retreats. Now Sky look for a pass over to the teammate on the side. Ooh, bad double commit there from Abstract, but they're not going to get punished. Das looking for a clear. Berto be able to dribble this one upfield before it's stolen away.
And they got to get control again on the Florida State side if they want to put some pressure on Abstract. Right now, it's really easy to play up one. You just got to keep them from doing what they want to do with the ball. You just got to keep it out of their control, which they're doing a really nice job. It doesn't take much, really, to do that. You just can't let it go all the way.
Ooh, another great dunk by Bumpin to deny it clear. Grover going to try something similar. Does get it over Schmacked, but Skies is right there to deny it. Dask, oh, great setup off the back wall. Is Berto there in time? I think his teammate bumped into him. A huge double commit. Cost Florida Tech a chance. One kind of weak shot ends up going in.
Oh, Berto. You know, I was wondering if that two-goalie system was going to cost them. An Abstract running those two goalies in there just did not give themselves enough clearance. Somebody finally left the goal, and Berto just sneaks that sucker in again.
Yeah, way to stick with it from Grover. He had a great center. I think Dask and Berto collided. Grover says, no problem, I'll set you up again. And just like that, we've got a tie game. Demo there. Can they punish it for Florida Tech? Does not appear to be so, but Berto gets a nice little dribble before Skies clears it away, and we take down under 60 seconds. Grover can't deny Skies, but Dask going to change sides of the field.
Yeah, they're just playing tennis now at this point. Just hard volleys back and forth. It looks like they may be actually able to set up a second shot here. Bumpin not able to put it exactly where it wants. Not a lot of passes taking place in this game at the moment, but a big push right now. This is very, very dangerous for Florida Tech if they can retain control. By them, I mean Abstract, and get another shot. And when you let it linger like that, you get shots like that and follow-ups like that and putbacks the third time like that, and you take over.
Berto with a great denial, but they aren't out of the woods yet. Oh, they all bailed out. Abstract wastes a huge opportunity. Florida Tech now has 10 seconds to win it in regulation. Never mind, Schmacked with other ideas up in the air. Sky's going to elevate. Barely gets it on target. Do they have one more chance? Bumpin keeps it alive. And everyone just kind of dodges the ball, and we reset for overtime.
He was like, I'm going to go get this mega, and then we're going to do this again, and he didn't get there in time.
Oh, cheat up the kickoff. Grover.
Grover, the savior of the team, doesn't get credit for an epic save, but in my opinion, that was an epic save.
Skies wants to keep the pressure on. Nice shot, but Schmacked immediately denies it. Can he play it off the wall? No.
Nope.
Skies gets tangled up there with a couple of players, wants to recenter it for a teammate. Kind of bumps Dask out of the way, but both teams going hard here in overtime. It looks like we'll get a bit of a reset here.
Yeah, so Schmack playing with my controller. Shot! Bumping. Scores. That's game.
What a great setup here. Dask just can't get the clear. Skies with a perfect setup to bump in. Nothing you can do on that back post and Abstract. Game was closer than they wanted it to be, but they pull out the win anyway.
And that's when you claim an errant shot as an actual pass.
Yes.
Right? When we've got an opponent who was right there, or a teammate who was right there, and you just fired that sucker right off into the spot. You know what? Florida Tech, comes away from this with a fantastic proof of concept. You did the things that you needed to do. You let them. They were who you thought they were. Now you just got to not let them off the hook.
Well, Doc's talking about his keys. How about we get to Doc's other keys of the game? Help out Florida
keys?
Tech. Yeah, let's help out Florida Tech with Doc's other keys of the game. And maybe let them know what they need to do. That is create mistakes.
Heck yeah.
Punish the overcommit.
Let's go.
Don't overstay.
Nope.
And bump and demo to disrupt. Also add in there, olay the demos, because that's something Abstract did very well.
He did.
Doc's keys are powered by Geico Military. Geico Military has been a proud sponsor of the USO since 1997. Getting ready for game 2. Abstract at Florida Tech. Very close. Overtime. Great comeback from Florida Tech. If you don't go down 3-1, Doc, it's a lot easier in the long run.
Boy, it is. The key to creating mistakes in a situation like this is you just have to continue to apply pressure.
It's just that easy. Even Doc's shocked at how easy it is as we get into game 2. Remember, this is all best of 3s. Every team plays just one match a week, so Florida Tech would have 7 days off to kind of think about this loss if they can't get it done here. Bumping with a nice little carry. It is denied on the second effort. We hear demo off screen. Looks like that was Skies onto somebody on Florida Tech. They're able to barely recover in time, though. But much like game 1, this is all orange side control. Finally, Grover thought he had a chance, just waited way too long. Berto now, who is the hero of game 1 for Florida Tech, looking to dribble this one out. He's immediately denied. Oh, Grover stops it just barely. Berto looking for another save. Schmack gets a great shot on net. Abstract just applying pressure after pressure. Bumping off the back wall. Huge save by Berto. Schmack shots goes wide. Lobs it on Berto with another incredible save. I don't know how Florida Tech can keep this up. 4 saves in under a minute, and the pressure just now finally pauses for a brief moment.
Yeah, that doesn't favor them in the long run if you're having to make that many saves. It means you don't have control. You're not getting the shots that you need. I mean, if you think about it, the shots that fall, the key number is whatever your shot percentage is, if you're at 40% or whatever. But if you need 4 goals, multiply that appropriately. Carry the 1.
Speaking of shots, Florida Tech has 5 saves on 5 abstract shots.
Wow.
Florida Tech hasn't even gotten one on net. His sky shot just barely rolls wide. Bumping, looking to center it up for Schmack. There it is.
If it lingers around that long, you're going to catch people out of rotation. We talk about creating mistakes. If you do not let them have the opportunity to set up again, that's what you get. You get mid-rotation. You get a player who's not where they need to be back corner to clear that ball.
5 saves in Rocket League is unheard of. The fact Florida Tech kept him out of the goal for that long is impressive, as Berto has to make another great adjustment. He has been fantastic in the goal, but they need some offensive. Skies looking for a waterfall, can't quite find it. Ball briefly on the orange side, you blink and it's right back on the blue side.
Ooh, that was a really nice shot, redirect, but he was already up in the air. Really pre-jumped that sucker so that he knew he was going to get up there. They're doing a nice job, Abstract, getting it off the backboard, high back wall as often as possible. Anybody in position? Oh, that was a whiff there. Oh, nice, clear.
Huge save by Grover. Put that save total up to 7 now for Florida Tech. They have been playing lights out defense. Can we find some offense, though, as Schmack steals away at midfield, sets it up for Bumpin' 1-on-1. It's Demo. Another Demo comes out in front of the net, but finally Grover makes a huge save, his 3rd of the game. And Florida Tech just barely hanging on defensively.
Sky getting another shot in his book, and there it is. One more shot. This time it's a score. 2-0 Abstract.
10 shots for Abstract in the first half of this game.
Yep, they're shooting 20%, but you know what? Doesn't matter what you're scoring if you're always shooting.
Florida Tech 0 shots on net. That ball has barely been on the orange side at all. And once again, Schmack immediately puts it back to the blue side. Grover with a slight tap. Schmack, loses that one out to Das. Maybe a chance here for Florida Tech. Skies, gets denied by Berto right in front of the net. They need one more follow-up. Nobody's home. Grover's touch way too late. Das, a desperation, and it's wide of the net.
Yeah, they just could not get control of it. Now they're caught without boost, having to rotate back a little bit. But Skies and Schmack still low, still get enough off, and they can put that together. What? Impressive.
What a setup here. We get to look at it. Bumping over to Skies. Bumping never gives up on the rebound, just kind of nudges it in.
And that feeling that you're feeling, Florida Tech, is the air coming out of your tires. This is a really hard one to come back from now. With 2 minutes left, it can be done. You're just going to have to change and get some shots.
1 shot credited to Florida Tech so far. Looking for another one, but Skies immediately denies that. A great comeback here for Abstract after blowing a 3-1 lead. You have to wonder if they might have given up, but Schmack makes a huge save.
Where was he? He was like having like a smoothie up top.
He was just hanging out, perfect positioning, and Time just running out on Florida Tech. There's just nothing they could do. Is bumping with a huge steal. And the door is getting closer to being slammed in Florida Tech's face.
Yeah, I think that was the sound we just heard. Minute and a half left, a little less. It's going to have to take some really, really good shots, some fantastic positioning, and a whole bunch of luck at this point.
Great kickoff will be the perfect place to start. Doesn't really go their way. Berto even missing, but now one more chance. They full on double commit for the ball. This Florida Tech, they at least get an opportunity right in front of the Abstract net. Oh, one shot wide. Dask shot as well wide. Bumpin trying to set up skies on an open net as everybody retreats, and that feels like the last great opportunity Florida Tech was going to have to get back in this game. Is with a minute left, 4 goals down, you're going to need something crazy.
Yeah, no one remembers the song by the Vinyls, but na 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 na. I think this is goodbye. Oh, with a nice shot, though. They can get a little redemption. You know what? One score turns this around for you.
One score is at least a great place to kind of build some momentum, get ready to go for next week. As we mentioned, 1 game per week per team. A great shot there by Bump and barely misses. Abstract keeping all the pressure on, which you love to see, not trying to take off the gas pedal, just bleed clock. They want another goal. 30 seconds left here. Maybe a chance for Florida Tech to break that 0 on the scoreboard. Great dribble by Berto, but it's turned away by Sky.
Yeah, Bumpin really doing a nice job filling up his fighter pilot scorecard over there. Berto breaks the goose egg, which is a big thing to happen with 15 seconds left.
Great job there by Dask, setting him up. Berto coming in. Grover was right there. Some positive things to build on if you're Florida Tech. This series, though, isn't going to go your way. That kickoff going the way of Abstract. Could even lead to another goal. We get a demo off screen to kind of slow everything down right in front of the net.
Yeah, you just got to prevent them from scoring again. Get a big old boomer out there. It's probably going to well, it's still alive. You just keep playing it while it's alive. What? Oh.
Just off target, but my goodness.
Yep.
What a game from Abstract, taking down Florida Tech in our first game of the night.
Yep.
Fantastic sign of things probably to come here in this USO Rocket League qualifier here, the USO Invitational qualifier. Great game by Abstract, 2-0 winners. But, I mean, Florida Tech, as you mentioned, getting in their first little toe in the water. Some good things, some good learning opportunities. Great news that this is a 6-week Swiss tournament. They're not out of it yet. Maybe even, as you mentioned, that 0-1 start makes it easier in the end. But game 2 for Abstract, they impressed me. Absolutely.
Yeah. Abstract showed you a lot of things that you're going to expect to see in the top teams. So Florida State falling to Abstract in week 1 is not really that big a deal. There's a lot more time left to go. They show you that they can absolutely air dribble, that they can get these beautiful flip resets, that they can put their car in a position to actually get the shot that they want. Berto, especially for Florida Tech, did the same thing. I think that these are a lot closer to siblings than they are, wrong ends of the Swiss formatting for week 1. I think that they may actually see each other again.
Yeah, I would fully expect Florida Tech to sort of figure things out. There's some great learning opportunities. And game 1 was a great example of, even though you're down, they battled back. And game 2, you thought maybe they'd have a chance, but Abstract, absolutely insane. Minute and a half in the game, they have 8 shots. They're averaging a shot every 20 seconds.
That second game was just ridiculous.
You can't defend against that. We talk about it all the time with players is somebody's going to make a mistake if you take shot after shot after shot after shot. And that's exactly what happened. You eventually get caught out of position. You get caught with no boost. There's some great boost denial from Abstract. All of that fantastic. Great start to this USO Invitational Qualifier. Cannot see where we go next year. Of course, powered by Geico Military. It's been a ton of fun already, and we've got some other big-name teams we haven't even seen yet.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see specifically Eclipse. We've seen them in the past. There's some goofy ones in there as well that we just don't know.
Yep.
You only need 3 good Rocket League players. Okay, let's correct that. You only need 1 good teammate, and you can have a good team.
Yeah. We have one guy who can just put a bunch of shots on net. We've seen it all the time. That guy can easily get 5-6 goals as long as you can play like some semblance of defense. You are totally fine. So, yeah, if you have 1 good teammate and 2 guys who know how to set up that teammate or even just don't get in that teammate's way.
Just stay out of their way.
Just play defense. Let them do their thing.
Yep.
Looks like we are almost ready to go here to hop into our second match. As we said, everything will be a best of 3 this week. We should get a chance to see a majority of these teams at least one time. We got our next matchup here.
Yeah,
It's going to be Perron versus Yeetables. That's a fantastic name.
It is.
Already a favorite in my book for.
Is it Yeetables or Yettables? It's hard to know.
It's got to be Yeetables.
Yeah, let's see which side of the yeet they apply to. Do they have the ability to be yeeted or yet?
Yeeted. You don't want to be yeeted. You want to do the yeeting.
You want to do the yeeting.
Yeah,
so if
you
you're
want to do the yeeting.
yeetable, it kind of sounds like you're on the wrong side of the yeet.
Yeah, unless they're saying they have yeetability.
But they didn't really do that.
Yeah, you know what? The more I think about it, great name, bad idea. You know, it doesn't set me up with much confidence.
Let's see who does the yeeting in this.
I'm waiting for them to get all set up here. Everything best of 3. So hey, you lose game 1.
Mr. Fisher, how important is the name?
The name is very important. You have to let your opponents know that you didn't try too hard to come up with a name, but it was creative, you know.
So where's the line? I mean, because as a fantasy football aficionado, as you are known to be, the name is really, really important.
Exactly.
Leaning on a pun, as Yeetable.
Yeah, exactly. Leaning on a teammate's name. If you have a good teammate, you can definitely make some sort of pun on. That's always a key.
So where do you grade Yeetable in the names?
I think I'll give it a B minus. If somebody has yeet, like not forced in their name, not like I will yeet, it's like, okay, that's kind of like I can see you force that. But if you somehow worked in creatively yeet into your Rocket League name,
all you can yeet.
Yeah, all you can yeet. Then I give you a B plus. I mean, it really depends on how they played off their teammates' names in creating the team name. It's got to be like one big circle.
Yeah. Okay. I can get behind that.
Yeah, it's got to encompass your team name. If somebody's got like a killer name. You know, like Doc, and you can come out, somehow say, you're heading to the docks, and the Doc puts up 5 goals in the game. Then you're like, okay, these guys are here to play. It's always a good idea too to put your name around the worst player on your team, because then they'll say, oh, we got to demo this Doc guy. He's the key figure, right?
Whoa, how did I become the worst player on the team?
Again, just in this hypothetical example,
right,
hypothetical. I guess if I was on the team and your name was, fishing for goals. If I'm the worst player, they're going to go after me while Doc's scoring all the goals. So
and my name would be goal bait. Or,
exactly.
Yeah, we could go
exactly. We could figure out. But you always name it after your worst player, so they're like, oh, that fish guy, he's got to be the best. I mean, they named the team literally after him. And then when it's like, this guy doesn't even know how to play Rocket League. He clearly was just forced to sign up because he had 2 friends and they needed a third. You can kind of steal a game or two if they waste all their time demoing the bad player.
Yeah.
So there's definitely some mind games. The name is very important. Which, as much as we did get to see some of the colleges in Florida Tech, not being part of a collegiate program in this tournament at least opens up the name creativity.
So for those who are jumping on and joining us about now, we're engaged in this Swiss tournament. How many total weeks now, Fish? Are we
I believe
gonna see?
6. 6 total weeks. So this is week 1, and you and I had talked about maybe it's better if you start 0-1 because you might get sort of easier opponents because all those opponents have taken a loss. You see here on the screen, here is our rules for the USO Invitational Qualifier. It's a best of 3, 3v3, all pretty standard. The Rocket League rules, 5 minutes, sudden death, golden goal, overtime, all that standard. 6-week Swiss bracket, 1 match per week per team. Top 8 teams from this league will qualify for the USO Invitational and a shot at a $10,000 prize pool, which is a ton of money. They'll be going up against other teams that have qualified for previous USO experience events. So it's not just going to be a walk in the park. If you're number 1 after this, you're going to have to go up against some very, very tough teams. But still, anytime you enter a tournament and the prize pool is at least 5 figures, you're like, okay, we got to win this. We got to make sure everything's put together. We've crossed our T's, dotted our I's. You do not want to start out a tournament like this 0-1, 0-2. Because, like I said, I like having that cushion in the later weeks saying, hey, we're 5th place. We can afford to drop a game. Not we're 10th. We need to win this week.
Yeah, if we don't win this week, we're in big, big trouble.
Yeah.
And in every grouping within the Swiss bracket, there are going to be people who don't belong there on both sides of it, right? Maybe you take a win at the first week, but you are not one of the undefeated teams that's going to run the table, and you know that. You know you're gonna have the really tough matchup soon. But if you drop one early, you know that it might be a while before you play somebody who you can't rise to defeat. So.
Yeah, the 6 weeks should be enough time. I think I like the 6-week format where it should be enough time. By the time we get to week 4 or week 5, I think everybody's going to kind of settle in to their correct spots. Maybe if a team had some just crazy luck where they got, they won this week, they get another team that maybe is on the weaker end, and then they somehow get another team. But usually once you get to week 4 or week 5 in a Swiss format, everyone's sort of filtered into the correct spots. If you had a bad matchup week 1, you can sometimes come back. If you had maybe an easier matchup week 1, you're sometimes going to get forced down. So I'm a big fan of the Swiss format. I think it's very hard to pull off because it's, okay, how this team's 1-0 and there's 8 1-0 teams. How do we make them? But in the end, it really kind of makes sure we know the best team is 6-0. We know that is a case, not a factor of, they just got an easy bracket. That's all it was.
It's going to be exciting to see how this comes together. But let's ask the real question that everybody would want to know as we get ready for this next game. If we were on a team, you and I, and say a ringer, just a phenomenal player, a Cosmo Buster, a Durtho, one of those. What is what's the cash split at the end if we win the 5,000?
I mean, you you try and argue to split the cash fairly, but if we've got a ringer, it's probably like, 3,000 to them, and then, maybe you and I can get away with 1,000, maybe even 4,000 to them, and 500 to us. I think it really depends. If you can have that one game where your ringer kind of like either falls asleep or you can capitalize on an easy matchup, you look like that. Remember that one game I scored like 5 goals? Like, yeah, we won like 18-0, but like I scored 5. Like,
All right.
You got to pick your spot. You and I would be kind of battling. Like, I'd pick my spots. Like, hey, remember that time I made that huge save? And the ringer's like, well, it was 6-0. Oh, no, but it was a huge save. Remember that.
Yeah.
Doc was over there getting boost. I don't know what Doc was doing. I had that great save with 10 seconds on the clock.
I want all the boost. I want it all. I want it all. I don't need it. I'm at 97, but I'm going to go get that one.
Exactly. Or you say, like, hey, let's all split the prize money, and then, like, I'll take the ringer out for dinner one day, you'll take him out the next, and we'll spend our prize money on him.
Good call.
Hey, maybe, let's all combine. We'll buy you a 30-80, and then we'll keep the extra $200. There's some ways to get the cash but still keep your ringer happy.
Yeah, it's very, very, very true. All right, I like where this is going. I like where we're spending it. We haven't talked a lot about silk robes, matching silk robes or anything like that, but I think we could do it. Hey, here we go.
Here we go. Yeah, sounds like we just heard the word. We're going in now. We're gonna hop right into it.
Oh,
Eatables and Perron. Eatables in the blue, already defending, and Perron takes an early lead.
Yeah, they do. Coming in strong right here, as we see Blathers setting right in front, trying to get that. Can't do it. Ooh, the Dragons, the Black Dragons. It's always fun to see new teams and see what they've equipped.
Yeah, after a while, you get tired of the same goal-scoring animations. This Kemma looking for a pass over to a teammate. Runs part, looking for a great setup. We hear demo off screen. Still pressure, though, for Perron. Looking for the double tap. You can't quite find it. Almost had a rule one there.
Oh, he jumped out of the way of that ball like a boss.
Kemma Jam with a great goal here. See, once again, just dominant side control, this time from Perron, and they're already up 2-0. 3 shots in 25 seconds.
Yeah, that is really, really fast. Perron doing a nice job like a boss, getting out of the way like a boss. Misses it right there. This is not looking a good start for Eatables. I think we know which side their name falls on at this point. They're playing great. I mean, they're out here competing. However, they need to start filling up those cards a little bit next to their boost meters.
I am happy for Eatables, so they have found apparently the evil or maybe good twin of Boise State's not Koba, as they have Koba.
Koba.
So
yeah.
they have found Koba. We have not Koba, so maybe they can channel their inner energy here. Is Koba? Oh, gets denied there. Great opportunity. Brunspart now looking to set up a teammate there right in front of the net, but Blathers this time makes a great save.
Oh, backy flippy. Very
Sending
nice.
it to nobody, though, unfortunately. Just communication breakdown. I think Kemjan was just staying back, being cautious, didn't want to allow a goal in.
Nice control to get it out of there. Gets it to midfield, and then immediately blocks it to get it down there. That was actually a really, really nice play.
Blathers, great touch here, like a boss, racing in.
Oh, they got to get it. They got to point that sucker at the goal. Shot. Oh,
just high.
Crossbar, fourth member.
Does a great job punishing opposed for trying to get some extra boost, get a little greedy. Now Kemjan looking for their 3rd goal of the game, not able to find it. There's a demo. Kemjan goes up on the roof. Great shot there. Koba with the first save. Nobody for Perron can get there in time, and now like a boss trying to set up his team.
Nice corner. Oh, it looked like there would have been some follow-up. Didn't really commit that hard to it. Got crowded in the goal. Nice demo. Sets it back up again. Can anybody get a touch? He would love to get his own touch. No one can do it for him. It was a perfect setup. No one could capitalize.
Drove right in front of his teammate. Amkoba had an open net.
Come on.
His teammate just drove in front of him. Got to clean up those comms if you're Yeetables here, but they've kind of refocused after those 2 early goals. Now Blathers, great chance, does get bumped off, sets it up, and unfortunately Amkoba runs right into him. Yeetables just got to work on that communication. Look a little bit too solo QE right now.
Yeah, a little bit. Double in the goal again.
Woo.
Big shot. There were 2 people there. They could not do it. Like a boss also jumping out of the way.
Hat trick for Chemagen.
Like a boss.
Look at this, just a great shot up top. You can't do anything about that unless you're already sitting up there. And Chemagen, 4 shots, 3 goals. The rest of the game combined has 2 shots and no goals. They have absolutely taken over for their team. But Bladner's great opportunity, just wide of the net.
Yeah, catches him out of rotation, trying to do that nice big putback. You know what? You got 2 minutes left in this game. You got to hit the reset button, Yeetables. Treat it 0-0. Don't worry about the score. Just get control, make good plays, take good shots. Wide open net down there. Can anybody get it back on course? Doesn't really happen. There it is.
Pose, great punish there for Perron, immediately flipping the field. Like a Bosch just gets punished for a little bit of a bad touch. Oh, right around Blathers, too. That's a great pass.
Errant shot or great pass? You be the judge.
I'll give it. That was a great pass. That was
all right.
You cannot thread the needle, accidentally on that one. That was barely above the hood of Blathers. As now Blathers looking to dribble this one out, ends up retreating. It's Chemagen. It's a nice little shot on net.
Yeah.
Blathers with a great touch. Amkoba going to blast it down into the corner, but opposed right there. Great denial.
Yeah, it was a great denial, and they're getting so much speed on those clears that they're just booming all the way back nice and high. That's one of the things Perron is doing well in this game, just getting big, powerful, high-speed clears up, trying to pose, trying to get this. Going to reset one more time. Boy, if you had a little bit more boost, you could have touched it a 3rd time.
Ooh, Amkoba with a nice attempted clear gets blasted out of the way. So Brunspart, great back pass to a teammate. Now Opposed wants to carry this huge launch down. Can Chemagen get the rebound? No, Opposed shot wide.
I was so close there too, trying to get back into position to pose.
Tangled up. Whoa!
Nah, I don't. I'm the opposite. I think you keep playing. We'll debate it in between.
Oh, that is party foul.
Yeah, the unwritten rules. Don't get me started. Yeetables need to get a couple more shots on goal or some shots on goal. I see only 1. Ooh. Like a boss with 1 shot on goal. That's going to be 5 for Perron right there.
Great job here by Chemagen, looking like the MVP. Nice setup from Brunspart, too. Also waiting down in case the rebound went awry. Perron looking like a very strong team here. Yeah, you see Like a Boss calling him out in the chat. Because I like to see Rule 1 breaker in the house. You'd like to see the Rocket League deities punish Perron in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
Don't think that's going to happen, at least in this game. It's Like a Boss with a huge clear down.
Estelle, as they're trying to set this up, and Yeetables just to get a shot, 30 seconds left, they've just got to get clears and just start flying to follow. Passing is not working for them. They just got to start booming it. Oh, can you set? It's not going to happen.
Now Chemagen with a great another goal. Almost 1 goal away from the double hat trick.
Yep.
Just a great job, patiently waiting.
Nice touch.
Taking advantage.
They're calling this a double hat trick in production, so I guess we'll have to give it to them.
Hey, you know what? Anytime you get 5 goals in a game, you deserve the double hat trick, or 6, depending on how many. The medals have gone off the screen, so it's almost impossible to count anyway.
It's true.
Would like to see the medals wrap around and just kind of really rub it in the other team's face. As Amkoba gets a great little shot there. Maybe can break the 0 on the scoreboard in the final seconds. Does not appear to be so. Ball will touch the ground.
Yep.
Perron will win game 1. Undeservedly so, in my opinion. Again.
All right. So,
well, hold on. Before we get to that, I do want to remind everybody this tournament is powered by Geico Military. Geico Military has been a partner of the USO since 1997, providing support to military service members and their families throughout their time in service. Thank you, Geico Military, for being a force behind the forces. All right, now let's get to that Rule 1 that you and I seem to be split on.
Rule 1, we're a little bit split on, and that's okay. So essentially, if your car's locked together, The only thing you are allowed to do is press the accelerator.
Yes.
This is rule 1, that you're supposed to stay locked until such time as you are unlocked, naturally by the game, by a goal reset.
Or a teammate bumping into you. I'm okay with a teammate coming in and just kind of blasting things open.
And while I understand the gooch, right, as it happens in the game, is a strange little thing that locks two cars together. There is some programming around it, evidently, to make it more common than it would be otherwise, I understand. We'll ask our own Wade and Pilkin about that when we get a chance. But I think when there's money on the line and there's wins and losses on the line, it's not the same as just a regular ranked Q game.
No, I think no matter what, if you are in a game, or I don't care if you get ruled 1 with a bot and you're playing against other bots, you have to stay in it. You have to stay in, especially if you're telling me that it's maybe, a little funky with the coding to make sure it always happens. I think you have to stay in it. We've seen in the past in different events where a team will break a rule 1 either like that or somebody goes in reverse, and they have lost. So Perron did not fall to that curse. But no, I think if you get locked in, if you cannot move, you either got to call for a teammate or you've got to let a goal reset everything. And I am glad that they were called out in the chat. I believe it was opposed, so we will keep our eyes on you opposed. At least I will. The unwritten rule enforcer, as Blathers right off the kickoff with a great little dribble until opposed. The rule breaker himself makes a nice save.
Oh, he's brandished a dirty rule breaker. That was a nice shot, though. Very, very clean. Like a boss tries to center it again, but to the wrong team, unfortunately. You can't let them have those nice, easy setups. You got to get that sucker out of there. Boom it out. Get gone. Oh,
huge.
Big chase. Can he get it? Anybody blue get on it? Doesn't look like it.
Oh, nice little back touch with the bumper.
They're not playing very good right now, Yeatables. Anticipatory wall plays. They're not playing rebounds well. They're not playing those cleanly. It's like they don't react to where it's going to be. They just kind of chase where it is.
Yeah, the offensive possessions for Yeatables have felt very Bumblebee Soccer-esque, where everybody's running after the ball. You're not setting up a teammate. We've seen a lot of double commits, players getting in their own way, as opposed with a nice little shot. Kemba Jam, as we mentioned, 5+ goals in the last game. Someone you definitely have to watch out for if you are a Yeatables defender or a Yeatables fan.
All right, now we're already a minute into this. Is a very different game. Now, at this point in the last game, it was already 2-0. By Perron, and Yeatables playing much better.
Yeah, so far Yeatables has had a much stronger game 2 as Blathers with a nice blast down. Can he play the rebound himself? Oh, it took an awkward hop. And Brunspart now going to dribble it into the corner, setting up a teammate. Is somebody there? No, like a boss with a fantastic clear.
Like a boss getting a warm-up in, and my guess to Yeatables is they did not have an adequate warm-up trying to get into position here. Really nice touch on the putback. That's going to put pressure immediately on Yeatables to get that sucker out of there, try to get a big clear. But right now, Perron has control, side control. So we talk about, you get those big clears, you get your cars in position, and you just keep it where they don't want it on their side.
Blathers trying to steal this one away from opposed, who centers it up for Kemjan. Waiting too long. Now you have a great chance here if you're Blathers. Panic just a bit. There was a wide open net. Amkoba with a nice steal. Ball just right of the net. Opposed misses on it. Brunspart centers it up to the wrong team, but ends up getting there before everybody else anyway. In this game, a lot different. Almost halfway through and like 2 shots aside.
So 2 shots aside, Yeatables getting better at positioning, but they just don't have many shots. Maybe now. Nice putback. Blathers not able to get on it. Does get a nice redirect off the wall, but the difference is Perron is playing those rebounds.
Yeah, too much solo queues still going on here for Yeatables offensively. When we saw one player have possession, everybody else was back getting boosts. There was no one to help him if he centered this ball up. We'll see if this one comes out any differently. It's like a boss.
Ooh,
challenge. Brunspart can't get it, but Blathers, nice stop at midfield. Opposed, huge shot. Like a boss comes in and stops the filthy Rule 1 breaker from scoring a goal. Now it's like a boss to Blathers, but a huge save from Perron.
Filthy rule breaker doing a nice job of just getting back in position. They're trying to get more shots. Yeatables just, I can't believe the score is so low here. They got to get a big clear. They got to get a nice follow-up. I think it's time to start bumping cars if you're Yeatables.
Yeatables has hung on here, and if side control has been clearly in Perron's favor, the Yeatables has still maintained a 0-0 game. Brunspart, though, with a huge shot off the crossbar. One more time off the crossbar. Yeetable's trying for the clear. It's up to Amkoba. And they can't stop Kemajam, who scores once again.
Amkoba is in the goal when it happens. Has the best view of it. Can't get to the front side of it in time. Dragons kick him out.
Yeetable still has a chance. They've kept this game this close. They just need to manufacture some offense, and that's a great way to start, but a nice delayed little cheat there by Perron. Stops that kickoff win. Oh, huge shot from Amkoba trying to redeem himself, but opposed pushes it high.
Yeetables just need a goal here now. That's what they need. Doesn't matter what the outcome of this match is as much. They just got to get some confidence. And that is not how you do it.
That is the caster curse in full effect there. Nobody is immune to it. Great setup here from Brun's part. Even had a post right next to him.
Which is stronger, though, the caster curse or the dirty Rule 1 cheater curse?
Apparently, the dirty Rule 1 cheater curse has decided to take the day off.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think it's science.
Maybe you're right. Maybe when prize money is on the line, the Rocket League overlords decide that Rule 1s are okay, but that's definitely not something we want to encourage. As opposed, puts another one in it. It took them longer to get going, but much like Game 1, Perron looking like they're going to pull away from this one and win pretty handily.
Yep, Perron sitting there in the frozen yogurt store, just putting all the toppings now on. They were being, pretty smooth for a little bit, but now they're just getting greasy and greedy. They're just taking all the goals they can get.
Ooh, what a touch by opposed.
Yep. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my. Wow.
Yep.
The technical skill here.
At this point, Yeetables should just lock arms at the goal and hope to accidentally get in the way of a couple of them just to prevent this sucker from being 6-0.
It was, for the first 3.5 minutes.
Yeah, it was great.
Did a great job. Even for the first 2.5 minutes, I think each side had only taken one shot, but Perron showing some great finishing here, being able to go from 1-0 to 4-0, really slam the door shut on Yeetables. Pick up a very necessary win here. Go to 1-0. Is this one maybe going to get cleared away? No chance, though, for Yeetables to score their first.
I don't think so. And, while this game is still going on, I don't want to prognosticate what it would be like for Perron and the ones we just saw win that, who would be better, who wore it better. But it does look like Yeetables is going to spend a little bit of time going to the woodshed, learning how to do this.
Oh.
Well, maybe there's a shot. Probably not. It'll touch.
Yeah.
It'll be over. There we go.
Perron with the great win there, despite my now hatred, if you will, of the team and their
you've blacklisted him now.
disrespect of the rules. Rule 1, not the official rules, just the unofficial,
The
unwritten Rocket League.
The
breaking a
rules
Rule 1 if you did miss it there, but they are still the winners. So huge congratulations to Perron, keeping that win, moving on to that 1-0 side of the Swiss format here. Great job overall by them, looking pretty strong. A reminder, the USO MVP Series is a unique opportunity for service members to connect and interact with all kinds of celebrities. The MVP Con is an even bigger event with chances to meet celebrities from movies, TV, and video games. For more information, please visit usomvp.org/MVPCon. Two great games so far, Doc. We'll take a quick break here. Do you have any closing thoughts here on what you've seen so far?
Yes. I'll simply say this. Yeetables and a team like Yeetables, you can tell they haven't played together very much because they don't have coordinated elements like kickoffs.
Yeah.
It's whoever's trailing doesn't seem to know where the ball's likely going to go and is not making a play for that. Now, I could be throwing them under the bus, so I'll speak a little louder so they can hear me under the bus, but make sure that you understand how you want to play as a team and what your job is going to be in every moment. And that's what will elevate them. They know how to work the cars, but you said it best, solo queue.
Yeah, too many times on offense. We even saw a great example where the goal was wide open. One of the players cuts across the front of the goal and stops their teammate who was charging in. That would have been a free goal. But we're going to take a quick break. We are not done yet. We have more action to come from the USO Invitational Qualifier powered by Geico Military. It's only week 1. We've got plenty of teams left. We'll see hopefully all of them after this short break.
4 years have passed since the mortal races banded together and stood united against the might of the Burning Legion. Though Azeroth was saved, the tenuous pact between the Horde and the Alliance has all but evaporated.
My name is MA3 Sentinel, Adrian. I play World of Warcraft. A great game. I've been playing it for 14 years. My father, me and him play the same game, so it gives us a chance to talk to one another while also interacting with one another in a different type of reality.
I also play World of Warcraft. My younger brother plays. I do not play with either of my two parents, though my mother very often leans over my brother's shoulder and talks to me while him and I are playing.
At the USO, they give us Wi-Fi, free Wi-Fi. The Wi-Fi connects us with our game systems, and our game systems allow us to see certain people or talk to certain people back home.
Neither of us like phone calls. Neither of us like talking on the phone in any sense of the word. This gives us a much more interesting way to communicate with family members and friends, and it even allows us to continue to build off of the relationships that we had previously. You know, personnel rotate commands all the time. We don't always get to see them, but we can always come back to these video games and use these video games as a way to communicate, keep up, see how things have changed, how their families are doing, stuff like that. And the USO is fantastic for facilitating that. They have beautiful facilities, wonderful Wi-Fi. It helps us out a lot with not only communicating with our families, but just overall morale as well. We're in a better mood. We take that mood back to the ships. Everybody else feeds off that better mood, and USO is just it's a chain effect, and they really do help a lot.
Depending on the area of operations that we're on, sometimes you don't even get internet connection. So going a couple months without internet and then coming back to here, any way to contact my family was great.
The game itself provides an in-game chat through multiple different channels, faster than a text message, faster than Facebook Messenger.
There's a team chat, there's Discord, there's Twitch, and they're all just different programs that you can talk for free as long as you have Wi-Fi anywhere. My father, since he plays, a couple of my buddies, since they play, one of my brothers, he played for a little bit, but they all have that program. They all have a way for me to contact them back home without using cell service or anything like that. And that's one way that I constantly keep in contact with all my family. If it's not video, then it's talking through a headset.
I wanted to go on the USO tour here in Alaska because I've actually never been to Alaska, but more importantly, I've never done a USO tour before, and this was an opportunity that I just couldn't pass up. I told everybody on my team I really want to dedicate some time, visit some people and thank them in person, and we just, threw this together, and everybody was very accommodating and made it happen. Here at Allison, it's just been a very warm welcome. I mean, not weather-wise, but people-wise, it's been incredible. Just getting to explore the grounds. I got to see some jets, which were absolutely breathtaking. Just being able to say thank you to the men and women who serve our country in person has just been so incredible.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me hear y'all fired up and shouting for Miss Cassidy Bowe.
So I want to thank you guys for having me. This has been incredible. I want to come back. I definitely want to see more of it. I feel like I got to see as much as possible in one day, but this place is massive. So I would love to come back and see more.
Welcome back into the Boise State Esports Arena here today for the USO Invitational Qualifier, powered by Geico Military. Since 1941, the USO has been the nation's leading organization to serve the men and women in the U.S. military and their families throughout their time in uniform, from the moment they join through their assignments and deployment, and as they transition back to their communities. The USO is always by their side. It's been an exciting kickoff here to the USO Invitational Qualifiers. As we mentioned, this is the last chance to qualify to compete in the USO Invitational. There's a 6-week Swiss bracket, weekly matches. Every single match is a best of 3. The top 8 teams from this league will qualify to compete in the USO Invitational, and they're part of a $10,000 prize pool. Any teams that have placed top 3 in a previous USO Experience Rocket League Finals tournament, meaning they have received prizing, have already qualified. So that USO Invitational is going to be a ton of fun. I'm now joined by Jacob, Jem, Mountain Palmer to help me call the rest of the action here, and it has been a ton of fun already, Jem. And we might even see a Mountain West neighbor in this tournament. It's there are a decent number of colleges that have entered. Seems like we are potentially leaning to see the University of Wyoming in our next match here, so that should be a ton of fun.
Wyoming is an interesting team that's had a history of Boise State. So they've been one of the teams that, few of the teams actually, who have actually shown up here to this arena to compete against Boise State. So we've kind of had a long history of them as sort of a sibling in our geographical region. So I'm going to be very excited to see how Wyoming performs here and hope they do well.
Yeah, I believe they're taking on, it looks like I said, Wyoming versus Eclipse is trending to be our next matchup, I'm told, and I know Eclipse was a team that Doc was very high on. So should be two teams that hopefully come out guns a place. We haven't had the most competitive series so far, though we did have a great overtime game in our first game of the night, but after that, teams just kind of took over, so hopefully we see a even match game here. But of course, with the Swiss format, sometimes week one you can have games like that, but you're of course all trending to sort of funnel teams in the right direction. So hopefully we can see Wyoming come out on top. As I said, they're probably my rooting favorite just because they are a geographical neighbor, as you mentioned, Jem, a team in the Mountain West. I always like to see the Mountain West succeed when Boise State cannot be a part of an event. So hopefully they're able to take down Eclipse, just kind of waiting for everybody to get into the lobby, get ready to go. And just a reminder, this competition free to enter for both military and civilian competitors. As I said, the top 8 teams at the end of this league will compete against other tournament winners for their shot at a $10,000 prize pool. So it's going to be a ton of fun. A multi-league format like this, Gem, also opens it up to maybe if you have a slow start, you're able to take some time, review what went wrong in weeks 1 and week 2. So it is nice to see that just because you lose early, you're not out of a chance to qualify in a few weeks.
Yeah, that's what happened last time we hosted a USO event. 2 of the teams didn't quite make it into the cut, and so they competed the second time in the second qualifying and were able to make it into the top 8. So you're completely right. Just because you have a rough time in this particular bracket doesn't mean you're out of the running. So look for teams, especially if we see any very close matches with overtime. We might be seeing more of them even if they are on the losing side.
Yeah, it could be getting ready to go here, Wyoming and Eclipse. Of course, while we wait to get into game, it doesn't hurt to get these teams. Maybe we've given them our keys a bunch of times. It doesn't always hurt to give them Doc's keys to the game, let them know exactly what needs to be done here. And those are as follows: create mistakes, punish the overcommit, don't overstay, and bump and demo to disrupt. Is all presented by Geico Military. Geico Military has been a proud sponsor of the USO since 1997. That bump and demo one, very interesting. We've seen that a lot of teams get very demo heavy here in our first event. So maybe if you can olay those demos, Gem, you can make somebody get out of rotation, because you can kind of punish in a demo attempt if you're able to dodge it. So maybe watch for that from both these teams. Demos seem like one of those ones where you either have a team that goes all in on them or really not at all. There's not really a middle ground, it feels like.
Yeah, there are teams that kind of just seem to do them for the sake of them, but demos really only pay off if you have the team coordination and you pull them off at the right time to be able to score goals. So we sometimes see teams just go too far in on the demo strategy and then they leave themselves wide open to be scored on.
Just waiting to go here for our next game. As we said, this is just week 1 of a 6-week Swiss format. Here are a look at some of the teams here. We've seen a couple of them. We saw Florida Tech. We saw Abstract. Seem to be trending in the direction of potentially seeing Eclipse and Wyoming. Also some other fantastic teams you see there like Michigan. Also some Hood College. Also some great, I love the team names here. Hurry Up and Wait. The Chads. They just really excellent logo all in all. So cannot wait to see more and more of these teams and see who comes out on top over our 6-week format here. Any team really sticking out to you, Jem? I mean, of course, we have Wyoming. Any maybe name from our non-collegiate teams or anything that maybe might draw your eye to be your rooting interest? As I said, I've already kind of leaned towards Wyoming, though the Chads, that is an absolute fantastic logo, I will say.
Well, I don't necessarily see anyone from the last tournament that we saw. We certainly had some great names there and some great, come-from-behind stories when they were in the lower brackets. So mostly a lot of just kind of new talent joining this tournament.
Well, we are going to kick things off here between Wyoming and Eclipse. Game 1 of a best of 3 here. As we see this one cleared all the way down. Your boy Rich with a fantastic roll-in goal, putting the orange side up early.
Yeah, that's a great shot just off the kickoff there. But plenty of time for the other team to recover, so we'll just have to see how it plays out.
Wyoming in the blue. As I have been told, I knew one of their players' name was Colorado, which is kind of ironic since you go to the University of Wyoming and you're named after a different state. So Look at maybe rebound here, but a great touch by Eclipse just off the crossbar. Magician able to retreat in time, but a huge follow-up by your boy Rich. We've seen a lot of individual domination early on here.
Yeah, a lot of great plays. It just doesn't seem like either team is fully just kind of getting those rotations down, so it might just be a little while longer until we see some great team play.
Orange up 2-0 already here early on. Banjo in the corner now for Eclipse, who have got off to an early start. Your boy Rich looking for the early hat trick. Colorado able to deny him. But once again, Coop with a great carry on here. And so far, more of the same from what we've seen, but a huge attempt here. Colorado looked for the pass, not able to find it.
Now Wyoming trying to get some sort of goal here. Colorado looking to center it up for the rest of Wyoming. Brenz is going to go in there, but the shot has way too little speed and isn't going to be scored on there. Now Wyoming's going to find themselves defending two of their members in their own goal. It looks like they're just kind of bunched up and stumbling a little bit here, whereas Eclipse is just playing wide over them in the air. Looked like they were trying to set it up for a shot there, but it just went off to the side. But look out here, Smondo unable to get a goal there, but nice waterfall in front of the goal.
Magician and Colorado both kind of combined in the other one. Two Eclipse players miss, so Colorado gets a nice little shot on net. It is wide. Missed Magician, not able to find the ball either, as Brenz at least keeps it on the orange side. Colorado racing in, but Coop able to deny that. Your boy Rich, great setup for a teammate from Banjo over to Coop. One man to beat, but the shot is high and turned away.
Now the ball is going to head off to the side as both teams look to try to gain possession of it. Colorado is going to be going for the center here, but it is quickly deflected there by Eclipse. Pushed toward the midfield. Going to try for the centering shot again, but Colorado, your boy Rich, just is able to keep the ball toward the midfield. Hands it off to Banjan here. Smondo looking for the goal here, but unable to set it up for a teammate. Wyoming just doesn't seem to have that clean of rotations. It seems like I'm seeing just way too much bunching up around the ball and double commits from them.
Your boy Rich trying to bait somebody out of the net. Two in goal for Wyoming, but not able to make a stop. Miss Magician gets a brief touch on it, but Baggio able to keep it alive. Your boy Rich back off, but oh, great touch by Brenz all the way down into the corner, goes racing in. Can't quite get to it. Colorado out of boost, gets a touch on the back tire. Kind of sets themselves up in a nice position, but that full corner boost stolen away. And Miss Magician trying to make something magical happen, turned away.
Colorado looking to center it up, and wow, Miss Magician, it's certainly missed right there. That was just wide open there, just a kick in there. I don't know if I've ever seen a goal not made from that sort of angle. Very unfortunate for Wyoming.
I think that was Wyoming's goal. So I think he was actually making a save, I believe. Now Wyoming is in the blue, so that was a save.
My mistake. I apologize.
For Miss Magician. You would not want to hit that one in, but the way things have been going for Wyoming, it would not surprise me as they have not been able to clear this ball away from the blue side for too long. As Miss Magician pass over to Brenz, ball bounce over his head. Your boy Rich going to elevate for it. Colorado just a nice denial of a crossbar attempt. Miss Magician with another fantastic save. But the ball is kept alive by Eclipse on that blue side.
Eclipse regains control of the ball. It's going to be setting up for your boy Rich, unable to get the shot on goal there, but he's going to try again. Gets credited with the shot on goal there. Brenz with the save. But Brenz just, they're just kind of running into each other, and they don't have any boost on top of that. It's no wonder they're struggling so much to clear the ball.
1 minute left here. Colorado trying to dribble it up. There's still enough time for Wyoming to come back, and as I say that, your boy Rich with the hat trick probably slams the door shut on Wyoming's chances here in game one.
Yeah, I'm just not seeing enough coordinated team play from Wyoming to really think that they can stage some sort of comeback here. We're going to have to see on this next kickoff, though, who it goes in favor of. Ball goes off to the side. Smondo there gains control toward the goal. Going to get another one, putting Eclipse to 4.
This is a great job by Smondo right off the kickoff. Sometimes we talk about it's not the first touch on the kickoff that matters, it's the second. Smondo with an absolute banger from across midfield. And somebody might have got another touch on it. I did not see. But 4-0 here for Eclipse, and it looks like Our trend to blowouts will continue as the Clips should head into Game 2 with a nice and comfortable Game 1 win here, depending on how these next 38 seconds go, and right now it's more of the same.
Colorado and Miss Magician, again, they're just kind of in the same general spot of the arena. It doesn't seem like they really have that much of a game plan right now. Whereas Eclipse, able to stop that in midfield. Colorado now looking for the clear, unable to find that. Miss just is able to set it up for Brenz. Now they find the clear that they're looking for. Can they turn that into a shot on goal? Miss goes flying past the ball in midair. That's not going to turn into a shot on goal. And not enough time for Wyoming to recover here. Eclipse is going to take this first game.
That's a dominant win from Eclipse, a team that I think a lot of people expected to do well in this event, and they start off on the right foot with a 4-0 win in Game 1. We'll see if that will carry over. Don't forget, this tournament is powered by Geico Military. Geico Military has been a partner of the USO since 1997, providing support to military service members and their families throughout their time in service. Thank you, Geico Military, for being a force behind the forces. Getting ready for Game 2 in our USO Invitational Qualifier. Just week 1 of our 6-week Swiss format. And right now we have seen the teams kind of rise to the occasion in all of our first 3 events here. And, I mean, Jem, what would you recommend for Wyoming if they want to try and get this to a Game 3? Because they were playing some great defense, but really didn't have a whole lot of offense.
I think a lot of things that the big thing that really prevented them from making a lot of plays, aside from the communication and rotation issues, was just being boost starved. It didn't seem like they managed their boost very well. Whenever we were spectating them, it seems like at best they had maybe 60, but most of the time they were just around 30 boost. It never seemed like they were able to get the resources they need to make those big clears and aerial plays. So I don't know if that's really to speak about their mismanagement of boost or whether it's Eclipse doing such a great job of boost starving, but that's definitely something they need to improve in.
Yeah, I think that you totally nailed it. The boost starving was fantastic by Eclipse. You just got to, I mean, we talk about it all the time. You've got to be able to find ways to clear the ball at angles if you're Wyoming. If you just try and blast it from your side, that will be stopped in a heartbeat. It's Colorado with a great start off the kickoff. Smondo makes a fantastic save. Bren centers it up. Colorado just misses what would have been a great pass.
Now your boy Rich looking to center up here. No follow-up quite there. It's going to be cleared all the way by Wyoming. Here we go. Wyoming does have the boost they need to make the plays here. Missed, unable. Is going to actually just allow your boy Rich to get to the ball first, and he's just going to waterfall that down, almost getting a goal there. Follow-up there by Coop, unable to get the goal. Just bounces off the crossbar, but a nice play.
Smondo, one that keeps this ball alive, pops it up. Your boy Rich misses. Looks like maybe going to try for a back pass here. But Colorado with a nice steal. Smondo should beat them to the ball, though, racing down. Colorado keeps possession, sets it up for a teammate just over Bren's head. Now Miss Magician has to get back in time. Luckily for Wyoming, that shot was wide.
Now ball in midfield. Both teams fighting for control of it. It seems like Wyoming has started to improve a bit here. They're going to see if they can get this clear. It's instead going to be put right in front of the goal, goes off to the side. Lucky break for Wyoming. Now Miss Magician going to run right into Eclipse there. Ball's going to head over him. It's going to be left up to Brenz here for the clear. It just seems like the clears are something that haven't quite worked out fully for Wyoming here, as there have been some, but a lot of them just haven't been at the correct speed.
Oh, that was a great bump. Just couldn't capitalize on it.
And the ball heads back toward Wyoming's goal. It's going to be stopped in midfield there, but Coop keeping the strategy going. Going to be dribbling it around some, is able to play it around one. Going to be stopped by Colorado there. Smondo pushes it off toward the corner. Colorado is going to leave it for Brenz there to get the clear pass back over to Colorado. Stopped by Smondo midfield. And overall, side control seems to be slightly in favor of Eclipse Esports this match so far, but and with that clear, that's definitely going to get them another shot toward goal here. Stopped by Magician.
Colorado tries to play it off the backboard. Can't steal it away from Smondo. Here comes Coop. Shot just wide of the net, your boy Rich. Not able to get there in time, as now Colorado has done so much for Wyoming. Can they get their first goal? Pass down to Miss Magician. Just wide. Brenz with the follow-up. Colorado needed to be there. Couldn't quite get it done. Bren's keeping it alive for the Cowboys finally. Huge clear down by your boy Rich. Does get that boost stolen right in front of him. Running on fumes. Looks for a center, but it's way wide of Smondo and Coop. Smondo looking just for a back pass here, but it's executed so poorly. Coop has to play it off the crossbar to keep that from being an own goal from Eclipse.
Colorado unable to take it away from your boy Rich. Now Coop stopping at midfield, leaving it for Smondo to push it toward the goal, stopped by Mist in midair. Now Coop with the pass over to your boy Rich is just going to head right over him, bounces off the crossbar. Bren's credited with the save there. Shots on goal have actually been pretty even throughout this match, with only one in the favor of Eclipse here. So Wyoming definitely has a possibility here. They can stop this clear from going forward.
Oh, your boy Rich steals that ball away from his teammate. Ends up getting a nice little shot there with the demo. Sneaky little play there as your boy Rich gets another huge clear down. Can't quite play it themselves. It takes all three members of Wyoming, but now Eclipse has to get back in time. Smondo picking up their third save of the game. Under a minute now. Huge turnaround for Wyoming, potentially one goal away from getting us to our first game 3 of the evening. Coop off the backboard. Oh, perfect save by Wyoming. Can they do it one more time as Colorado gets the ball out of harm's way? Immediately recentered. Your boy Rich can't find the touch on it, but Smondo can eventually, giving Eclipse the 1-0 lead.
Now that puts them in a great position to win this match outright. Great team play there. Nicely well aimed too. Upper left corner just bounces off the bottom of the crossbar, making it a very hard angle for Wyoming to save there. Now the ball is going to be in midfield. Colorado passing it back over toward Eclipse's territory. Now can they make a play out of that? Miss, double commit, unfortunately for Wyoming, leaves it wide open for that clear, and almost goal from Eclipse there.
25 seconds left here for Wyoming, and that will probably do it. Our scoreboard is backwards. That is Eclipse with the 2-0 lead there as Smondo probably just won this series for Eclipse Esports.
Well, just 20 seconds left. It's not unheard of, but Wyoming would have to get a goal right off the kickoff here, and that kickoff did not go in a direction to really inspire a whole lot of confidence. They try to push it back over to the orange field. 10 seconds left. A goal is going to have to be scored right here, but as it ticks past 5 seconds, that is most likely definitely going to do it for Eclipse. They win it 2-0 and advance on in the tournament.
A great job by Eclipse there, picking up that win. Moving on to 1-0. Wyoming falling to 0-1, but we'll still have plenty of opportunities next week in our Swiss format as Eclipse the winner here. But again, much like our series we just saw, Game 1 kind of a blowout, Game 2 very close down to the wire. So some great adjustments by Wyoming in that mini break we have in between each events. And so great job by Wyoming, able to come out on top of it. Don't forget the USO offers so many great opportunities to compete in esports. The USO experiences, Geico Invitational, and more. Always a fantastic job anytime we have a USO event, and this is no different here as we continue on. We've seen a lot of great Rocket League, really still hoping for our first Game 3 of the evening, Gem, but so far every team has done a great job of, at least, even though every series has been a 2-0, one game of every series has been close, and that's the least you can ask for, is that it's no blowouts, it's no 10-0. We've seen at least teams, even though they're losing, be able to have one very, very strong game, just not be able to get it done.
Yeah, I do have to hand it to Wyoming. Their communication and rotations definitely cleaned up a lot more around round 2. Probably was just the thing of they needed a little bit of time to warm up in the first game, but that was time that Eclipse used to just run up the score so much that Wyoming really didn't have a chance after that.
Yeah, and I thought Colorado's played spectacularly for Wyoming. Again, maybe one of the most ironic names in the tournament, but they had a fantastic solo effort trying to keep Wyoming into it. And again, that game, too, was just so impressive for Wyoming, making so many saves, keeping it 0-0 all the way under a minute. having a couple of great opportunities. I think this Wyoming team definitely will be a team that will make some noise, but Eclipse looking very strong. Like I said, I knew that was a team that Doc was excited to see in this tournament, so definitely a team we will have to keep our eye on. Hopefully able to sneak into a another matchup here relatively quickly in our USO Invitational Qualifiers powered by Geico Military. As we talked about, 6 weeks Swiss format, so just because you lose, you're not out of it yet. You can easily come back in the following weeks. Best of 3, all the Rocket League rules pretty standard, 3-on-3, 5-minute games, golden goal overtime, 1 match per week per team, so we won't get to see a team too often, but we'll be able to see hopefully most of the teams every single week. And as we've talked about, top 8 teams from this league will qualify for the USO Invitational and a shot at that $10,000 prize pool. So a ton of prize money on the line, but again, 6-week tournament. You have plenty of time if you're a team like Wyoming or if you're a team like the Yeetables or Florida Tech, all who we have seen lose, to be able to come back in week 2, week 3, get right back into that top 8 and get into that qualifier event, because we've seen time and time again in these USO events. It doesn't matter if you're the 1st seed or the 8th seed. All that matters is you qualify for that next tournament, and then anything can happen.
Well, we'll have to see what teams are going to be on the docket next. Overall, I am seeing a lot of improvement from Wyoming, and especially as we get further along in the bracket, I think we're going to see more of those aerial plays, more of those give-and-go situations, and the teams just working off of each other a lot better, less double commits. So as this night goes on, we're only going to see more and more exciting matches, I believe.
Yeah, I would think that we're eventually, in week 1, it's just kind of random depending how it's on. It's seeded. You never know how close the teams are going to be. But so far, we haven't seen anything too out of the ordinary. We've seen a lot of side control domination, but we've also seen a lot of great defensive efforts from some teams, especially Wyoming, keeping the ball out of the net for so long. We've seen a lot of saves. Saves not something that are usually that popular in Rocket League just because the ball is flying so fast. It can sometimes be almost impossible to make a save. And we've seen some teams rack up some save numbers that are absolutely unheard of. So, yeah, cannot wait to see as we go further along here in this week 1 of part of the Invitational, how these teams do, what teams we're going to see. There's definitely some teams on the board that, from the collegiate level that I'm sure are going to be very strong, and then there's some more unknowns from, the teams that we can only see their name and their logo, and that's all we have to go off of them. So hopefully able to hop into another match here relatively soon. Maybe we'll see our first ever best of 3 of the night. But so far, even in these 2 OS gems, teams have been keeping it close. And I think that's all that matters. As long as you're able to give yourself some semblance of hope, you can at least feel better going into week 2, even if you suffered a loss.
Yeah, you can at least, you'll have some VOD reviews to go over. You'll be able to work together more as a team, and you'll get kind of a bigger understanding of what kind of other teams that you'll face, of just kind of the general skill level and what will be expected of you.
Waiting to see where we are heading to next. Again, there's some great teams still that we have not seen play. Don't know if we'll be able to see everybody tonight. I think there are 19 teams in this league, but there are definitely some good teams. I know University of Michigan is a dominant force in a ton of esports. UT Dallas is maybe one of the best collegiate Rocket League teams out there. They are going to be a tough matchup for anybody they take on. And then, of course, you have just sort of the random teams. We just saw Eclipse. I know Escape Velocity, actually a team that name does sound familiar. We might have seen them in a different event. The Chads right now, a team that I am definitely excited to see just because of that logo. It is absolutely fantastic. We're just waiting to see what our next matchup is going to be. And after we get into that, we'll hop right into the game, and hopefully we'll see a very close match and competitive matchup here. But so far, everybody's been, I think, on an equal skill level, it feels like, for the most part, Jim. Does not feel like any of the 6 teams we've seen don't feel like they don't deserve to be here, or one team's just way too talented. It's been a pretty close night so far.
Yeah, I think that first game with Wyoming was probably just a fluke, all things considered, and just needing them to warm up. But as we get on into the night, there shouldn't be as many of those warm-up feeling matches. These teams should be a lot more comfortable competing with each other. We'll just have to find out if the team's skill level can match their logo game, at least in terms of your taste, Fish.
Yeah, I mean, I think that, again, when you have these non-collegiate teams, all we have to go off of is your name and your logo. We really have nothing else to base your game skill on until we see you actually in game. So that is something we definitely going to be keeping an eye on. Well, while we wait, we could throw it over to Doc's keys of the game, kind of help everybody out, whether they've played, whether they are coming up on stream, or whether or not their game goes on simultaneously. And those are: create mistakes, punish the overcommit, don't overstay, and bump and demo to disrupt. It's brought to you by Geico Military. Geico Military has been a proud sponsor of the USO since 1997. It is the USO Invitational qualifier here. Week 1, still plenty of Rocket League in the books, not only tonight, but going forward on Thursdays for the next few weeks as we try and slowly whittle it down to our top 8 teams that will all qualify for the USO Invitational, where there is a ton of prize money on the line. Fish and Gem holding it down here, just hoping to get into another game. And again, so far we have seen some fantastic Rocket League, Gem. I mean, anything you know from the Wyoming series that you saw that you might, besides Doc's keys, that you might want to harp on for these teams to make sure that they take into account in these series to make sure they don't drop a match?
Well, we often talk about the need for the ball to be cleared for you to be able to make some sort of play, but one thing to keep in mind is how you clear that ball. Sometimes we just see a lot of teams do a very straight lawn bomb just right toward the enemy's goal, but there is a lot of advantage when you clear the ball at angles, making it less predictable for the other team to just shoot it back at you. So I think that's one thing that Wyoming struggled with a little bit, is just being able to find clears that were at a sufficient speed, but also they could have improved the angles a little bit and how they cleared it.
Yeah, I think the clearing the ball at angles is a fantastic point you bring up, Jem, because that is a great way to ensure that the ball is just not cleared and then immediately hit back. But looks like we are going to take a very quick break. Don't go anywhere, though. We've got more Rocket League right around the corner, and it's all coming up after this break.
4 years have passed since the mortal races banded together and stood united against the might of the Burning Legion. Though Azeroth was saved, the tenuous pact between the Horde and the Alliance has all but evaporated.
My name is MA3 Centennial, Adrian. I play World of Warcraft. A great game. I've been playing for 14 years. My father, me and him play the same game, so it gives us a chance to talk to one another while also interacting with one another in a different type of reality.
I also play World of Warcraft. My younger brother plays. I do not play with either of my two parents, though my mother very often leans over my brother's shoulder and talks to me while him and I are playing.
At the USO, they give us Wi-Fi, free Wi-Fi. The Wi-Fi connects us with our game systems, and our game systems allow us to see certain people or talk to certain people back home.
Neither of us like phone calls. Neither of us like talking on the phone in any sense of the word. This gives us a much more interesting way to communicate with family members and friends, and it even allows us to continue to build off of the relationships that we had previously. You know, personnel rotate commands all the time. We don't always get to see them, but we can always come back to these video games and use these video games as a way to communicate, keep up, see how things have changed, how their families are doing, stuff like that. And the USO is fantastic for facilitating that. They have beautiful facilities, wonderful Wi-Fi. It helps us out a lot with not only communicating with our families, but just overall morale as well. We're in a better mood. We take that mood back to the ships. Everybody else feeds off that better mood, and USO is just it's a chain effect, and they really do help a lot.
Depending on the area of operations that we're on, sometimes you don't even get internet connection. So going a couple months without internet and then coming back to here, any way to contact my family was great.
The game itself provides an in-game chat through multiple different channels, faster than a text message, faster than Facebook Messenger.
There's a team chat, there's Discord, there's Twitch, and they're all just different programs that you can talk for free as long as you have Wi-Fi anywhere. My father, since he plays, a couple of my buddies, since they play, one of my brothers, he played for a little bit, but they all have that program. They all have a way for me to contact them back home without using cell service or anything like that. And that's one way that I constantly keep in contact with all my family. If it's not video, then it's talking through a headset.
I wanted to go on the USO tour here in Alaska because I've actually never been to Alaska, but more importantly, I've never done a USO tour before, and this was an opportunity that I just couldn't pass up. I told everybody on my team I really want to dedicate some time, visit some people and thank them in person, and we just, threw this together, and everybody was very accommodating and made it happen. Here at Allison, it's just been a very warm welcome. I mean, not weather-wise, but people-wise, it's been incredible. Just getting to explore the grounds. I got to see some jets, which were absolutely breathtaking. Just being able to say thank you to the men and women who serve our country in person has just been so incredible.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me hear y'all fired up and shouting for Miss Cassidy Cope.
So I want to thank you guys for having me. This has been incredible. I want to come back. I definitely want to see more of it. I feel like I got to see as much as possible in one day, but this place is massive. So I would love to come back and see more.
Welcome into the Boise State Esports Arena. We're here today for the USO Invitational Qualifier powered by Geico Military. Since 1941, the USO has been the nation's leading organization to serve the men and women in the U.S. military and their families throughout their time in uniform, through their assignments and deployments, and as they transition back to their communities. The USO is always on their side. Michael Fisher, Jacob Jem Mountain Palmer here calling all of the action here. Been a spectacular week one here of our Swiss format. 6 weeks long. Cannot wait to see how these teams adapt and prepare. And Jem, it does sound like we'll also get a look at some of the teams who might not have a game we'll see on stream, but we might have organized a warm-up match for them and be able to catch at least some of their play. Won't catch their official game, but we will be able to catch at least them, maybe get a preview of when we'll see them on the official side of things to weeks to come. So always a great time to be able to say, hey, look, your scheduled game time's not when we can get it on stream, but hey, let's take a look at your scrim, get a warm-up going between these two games. Should be a ton of fun to see teams that we otherwise wouldn't have got a chance to catch.
Do I detect maybe just an excuse here for you to just see the Chads play since you've been hyping up their logo?
I've been told it's the Chads as the team. You know, I might have pulled some strings, but like, hey, like, can we get the Chads on stream? No. Okay, can we at least like maybe put like a warm-up game, maybe like a show match, if you will, on stream? So hopefully it is the Chads. I'll be very, very disappointed if it is not the Chads. But again, ton of fun no matter who we see. I think it is a great way for everybody to kind of say, hey, you know, that might be a team we want to watch out for, get some teams matched up that maybe won't see each other depending on how their records are, because again, it is a Swiss format. If you are new to that, basically the Swiss format will try and guarantee after week one everyone with similar records will play each other. So if you're 1-0, you'll play a team that's 1-0. If you're 2-0, you'll play a team that's 2-0, et cetera, et cetera. Really does a great job of making sure that everyone who is at the top 8 of the bracket has played their way there. You don't have to deal with any complaints about, well, they had the easy side of the bracket. You know, they didn't have to go up against the same caliber of teams that we did. Does a really good job of, I think, especially by that week 5, week 6, will really have narrowed it down. But here are the rules for the USO Invitational. Best of 3 games every single week, 3-on-3. The Rocket League side of things, very standard, 5 minutes, sudden death overtime, 6-week Swiss bracket, as I mentioned, 1 match officially per week per team. We might have a couple show matches here and there that we might get to check out, and then the top 8 teams from this league qualify for the USO Invitational and a shot at a $10,000 prize pool. And as we prepare for that show match, for that warm-up scrim, Gem, I mean, since this isn't an official game, are you thinking maybe teams will maybe be pulled restrained a little bit? I mean, how would you approach a scrim if you're a team in this tournament? You know, you'll be on stream, you'll get a chance to show off. Do you maybe get a bit more flashy, or do you play a bit more restrained? I mean, what are you kind of leaning towards in this show match format we might get to see here?
Yeah, I think we might actually see some more attempts at the individual play, some crazy air dribbles or just dribbles up the field in general. Mm-hmm. I'd also have to say we might also see some more unconventional cars chosen as well, because if these teams, just seen by the way they've designed their logos, they might fully go for the mindset that skins equals wins. So we might see that in the show match, and it's always nice to see a little bit something different rather than the default car for the 20th time. Yeah, I mean, I know it's in the logo, but I need a little variety in my life.
The stock tane, as it's called, definitely gets old very quickly. No, you're all right. I think the car thing you bring up is absolutely fantastic. Being able to show off all of the cars you have collected that don't quite fit into the standard form of things. There it is. There is the Chads taking on Florida Tech. As you said, this is just a warm-up match, if you will, and Infinite keeping our trend of early goals scores quickly for the Chads.
Yeah, that's just great communication there by Vision, probably just calling it out to Infinite, saying, hey, the follow-up's available to you. and the Chads deliver there. But you can't necessarily judge it from just a goal that's scored in the first 5 seconds. Sometimes those kickoffs can just catch you off guard. So we'll see how these teams do now. Infinite now is going to be clearing it up the field, up the side, pushes it past midfield as Dask here is going to try to look for the clear, but is unable to find one. All they're able to do is drive it back toward midfield. Dask continuing to go after the ball, is going to try to center it up. but Tuna, as well as their teammates, are going to try to find a clear here. Ooh, look at I'd have to see that again.
It's a great goal by Berto here, just hanging back. Huge center by Dask. Steals it away. We have already seen the Florida Tech team. They did take a loss to Abstract in their official game, but it's definitely a team that I think is going to get stronger and stronger every week. So great chance that we get to see a second shot of them. As we said, a show match here between Florida Tech and the Chads. This Tuna with a nice dribble for Berto. Long clear down. Vision just going to hit it right back. There is Grover for the return. Infinite's time. Now, this time he'll let it touch the ground, though, and the match of volleyball will end after just 3.
Chads looking for their clear. Tuna isn't going to be able to drive it past midfield there. Great play by Grover is going to stop that midfield. Now Dask up the side of the field. Stopped there by Chads. Burton keeping the play going. Dask is now going to have control of it. Wide open for Burton. Finds the goal for the second goal.
Another great vision play here by Berto. We see it again. Fantastic play by Dask. Insane field vision to see Berto all the way down there, cherry picking as I like to call it, waiting for a long clear. Florida Tech has that 2-1 lead. Grover trying to make a name. Quite able to win that kickoff. It's Tuna's turn though. Oh, Dask with a huge stop there. Vision steals it away from Berto. But it's Grover with a great play off the backboard and the spike down. Florida Tech 3 straight goals to take the lead.
Yeah, these are kind of those solo plays that you love to see where they're really just kind of their own follow-up. But they definitely had some follow-up, Florida Tech, so the communication is definitely there. The rotations are looking good.
See what the Chads can do. They scored quickly and really haven't made much noise since those opening seconds. Berto with a great clear. Stop by Tuna, looking to set up a teammate in front of the net. Spike down, but just too far away from any potential shots. And Berto at least gets it over to the orange side before Tuna corrals it. Going to play it off the backboard to themselves. Double tap. Grover not having any of that.
Dask with the pass back down to Berto. He's going to push it in the corner, but not centered up for them to make a shot on goal. Berto with the pass now back over to Grover, driving it to the other side of the field. Going to set themselves up to center it. Berto unable to make his shot on goal. Now Dask has to stop that midfield. Tuna plays it around him, but Berto with great rotation, and they're moving around the field so quickly that they're able to stop any sort of clear that the Chads attempt.
Oh, huge demo by Vision. I should have let Tuna get a decent clear, but so far the Chads have just kind of been throwing the ball downfield. Haven't really had much of a follow-up. That has allowed Florida Tech to basically recover, not really suffer too much damage as Dask. Nice steal there. Huge clear down. Can he play the rebound? No. Overdrove it. Berto, though. Top corner. Give him the hat trick. Florida Tech's got the 4-1 lead.
It's a great play. Great play there by Berto, pushing them to that three-goal lead. It isn't insurmountable for the Chads to make 3 goals in 2 minutes, but it's definitely, the expectations are certainly mounting against them.
I have just got word that Tuna, sort of a double agent, if you will, on the Chads, is actually the Florida Tech student coach.
Oh.
So, you know, coming in, maybe he was like, you know what, I'm better than you guys, Florida Tech. Let me make my own team. Again, don't really know how that happened, but great job him showing up. Maybe the Chads needed an extra player. Maybe their third member was hitting the gym, making that protein milkshake. Impossible to know.
Because those are very important for Rocket League.
Hey, you want to be on a team named the Chads, I would fully expect you bench at least 5 times your body weight. Tuna puts it in, keeps the Chads within a couple goals.
Yeah, clear just didn't come through there for Florida State. Chads capitalized on that. I like the goal animation. That does fit with Tuna. Florida Tech, excuse me. That does fit with his namesake, though, Tuna, with the underwater bubbles.
Oh, Vision with a great shot. The Chads have come alive here, inspired by Tuna's goal and maybe the goal-scoring animation. As I say that, though, Grover, huge clear, great demo from behind. Oh, bad touch there by Grover. Dask has to make a save. Vision got Tuna near midfield, just can't not quite complete the pass. As we have 80 seconds left, and the Chads looking for 2 goals to get us to overtime. Dask just missing.
Chads still have to get this out from away from their goal, because with the centering shot there again, Florida Tech was looking for another shot on goal. Grover quickly sees the opportunity there. Vision rotating in to stop that goal that looked like it was open for a second or two. Now Dask is going to just run into a little bit of opposition there around the corner. But Berto is able to center it up, opening, but just a little bit too far back. Dask was on the field to drive it into the goal there, but that was a great opportunity for Florida Tech.
Oh, Florida Tech really trying to put this one away. Berto is there, looking to add to that goal total. Cannot quite do it. Now Vision, this could be a chance for Chad. Oh, Tuna's just got to blast it in. Couldn't quite get it done. Probably about 10 more seconds for the Chads to score a goal if they want to stay in this game. Instead, Dask will pull out the dagger and stab it through the Chads' protein milkshake. The gains have spilled all over the floor, and Florida Tech has come away with what looks to be a victory here in our show match.
It would take an immediate kickoff here to even put it within the realm of possibility for the Chads, and with Grover getting the better of that kickoff, almost certainly Florida Tech is going to win this. A nice little play there from Tuna, a nice last effort, but overall it looks like it might be Florida Tech who's scoring the final goal, and indeed they do.
I don't know how that ball almost scored. That was a crazy hop. Dask with the great punish around Vision, around Infinite. And again, this was a Florida Tech team who did not win their first game. Lost to Abstract. This all for fun, so it won't count, but this shows just how talented this Florida Tech team could be going forward in this 6-week tournament. Definitely not a team you want to count out for being, 0-1 to start. The ball will touch the ground. Florida Tech will claim that highlights. Man, fantastic logo again by the Chads. Don't forget, though, this tournament powered by Geico Military. Geico Military has been a partner of the USO since 1997, providing support to military service members and their families throughout their time in service. Thank you, Geico Military, for being a force behind the forces. Waiting for our last game. Have been told it is scheduled to go at around 5:45 Mountain Time. So about 7 minutes there. Hopefully, maybe we'll get another show match, maybe a follow-up game between Chads and Florida Tech. Don't quite know just yet. But overall, Florida Tech very impressive, and the Chads, not really living up to that name there so much, Gem Mountain. I'm kind of disappointed for a team that I had high hopes for.
Yeah, but like you said, this might not be the last that we have seen of them. There are plenty more weeks for them to kind of get their game plan. They did have a great start there with that kickoff, but you can't necessarily judge, like I said, those kickoffs in the first 5 seconds, because those I don't want to say the word fluke, because that kind of discredits the play that was actually made. I don't want to discredit the Chads for making a play like that. It just can't be used to judge the whole game and immediately do the skill level. You can't click off of the game just because the team that you were rooting for didn't score, in the first 5 seconds.
Yeah, I think kickoffs, they're very random. Actually, we'll get a game 2 of this show match. I'm all for it because, depends on who's taking the kickoff, the formation that the game gave you. A lot of things do go into play on a kickoff goal that can't always be reproduced in future kickoffs. As we see this time, Florida Tech will not allow such goal, but Infinite gets a great little touch, nearly falls in. Berto has to make a fantastic save. Now racing up the field, looking for a center to a teammate. Vision denies that one, but Dask is back in time.
But overall, Berto, a little bit of a risky proposition there for Florida Tech, as the ball is right in front of their goal. And one of the members of the Chads wanted to follow up. I'm certain a goal might have been scored there. Berto was where he needed to be on the back post, though, so a good defense still for Florida Tech. As they look to clear this ball, Tuna is actually unable, trying to wrangle back control of it. It's going to leave it open. Oh, unfortunate misplay there from the Chads.
Double commit in goal is the last thing you ever want to have happen. You see them, they're like, no, you got it, I got it, you got it.
Yeah, probably one of their protein shakes spilled over the keyboard and they were just panicking.
Keyboard short. Well, I mean, if they're playing keyboard and mouse, there definitely are Chads because that is the Chadliest move. Oh, no! Off the kickoff. Very creative there by Florida Tech, but the demo ends up stopping it as Infinite. Ball centered up, but nobody's there. Now it's Berto's turn, racing down into the corner. Pops it up in the air, gonna let that waterfall down, but Infinite says no, none of that, clears it away.
Florida Tech is gonna stop any sort of clear right there, actually. Now the Chad's come in to kind of break up that awkward stare-off that Florida Tech was having there, but even more awkward is an open goal that you leave open, which Berto almost scores on. Florida Tech still in the lead. Berto's going to try again, and I do not know where the Chads were.
Yeah, I mean, I'm shocked that Berto missed that. And then Dask, oh, yeah, you cannot have that. You cannot have all three members that close to each other. Very unfortunate for the Chads. Defense, not their specialty, it appears. Is Infinite. Huge kickoff win, but Berto in a great spot there. Vision. Nice dunk to keep it on the blue side. Maybe some offense being formed here by the Chads. Tuna just gets run over by Dask. Infinite's Hail Mary shot easily turned away by Grover, and the ball is just going to bounce up and down. Tuna over to Infinite, off the crossbar. Missed there by Vision, unfortunately.
That leaves it wide open for Dask to clear it back over. Berto unable to get a centering there. Now is going to be able to leave it up. Berto actually comes in there, but it was just a little bit too far to the right to get a shot on goal. Now Infinite driving it up the field. Actually, don't know if there was maybe a demo there. I don't think so. It might have just been the boost flame obscuring the whole camera there. But right now, the Chads able to get a little bit of side control, which is quickly, almost going to be lost. Yeah, now it is going to be lost as Dask clears it back over. Chad's looking to find their clear here, but Grover is going to steal it away from them, push it toward midfield, and now it's anyone's soccer ball.
Oh, Berto, nice little dribble. Dask gets a small touch on it, centered in front of the net. Tuna, though, there to deny it. Much better defense from the Chads this time, only allowing the 2 goals. Look at the demos, though. That is something that you would not expect. 4 demos for the Chads, 0 for Florida Tech. So I like the aggressive play style we've seen out of the Chads. Probably the reason why this game a little bit closer than our last game. Oh, Infinite making me sweat there. Misses on the easy save, but makes the hard one. There's the first demo for Florida Tech getting some revenge. Vision, nice little touch there. Dask, huge shot, stopped by, I think, Infinite. Chads need a clear here. Double commit from Tuna and Vision. That is going to be huge as the net is wide open, and Grover just stops it. Oh my goodness, I don't even know who's on what team anymore. That was a free goal for Florida Tech, and Vision and Grover just said, nah, I don't want my own team to score.
Now Grover credited with a save there. Oh, it goes right back towards their goal. Chads, I can't even catch my breath there. And that's actually a nice bit of disruption there, just pushing Grover so far back into the goal that he couldn't come back to save.
That open goal looming large. Florida Tech's lead is only 1. Dask off the kickoff with a cheat. Tuna gets a great stop. Grover trying to atone. That's a nice pass over to Berto. Huge save by Vision. Dask with the follow-up. Berto cannot get the rebound. 1 minute left here. And right now, the Chads have a great chance to come back. And Tuna looking to be able to sandwich that ball off the wall. Back past the Vision, popped up in the air. Nice stop by Grover.
Berto is going to set it up, play it off the wall. It just goes right down in front of the goal. There is going to be no follow-up right there. Now 30 seconds left. Still time for the Chads to tie this up and drive it to overtime. A nice effort there, stopping that clear. Vision's going to try fighting for the ball, but Infinite commits to it too. We cannot see a double commit like that this late in the game. And Dask reads that perfectly, driving it back over. There is going to be a demo right there. But now Florida Tech has fully respawned. Chads need to get their goal here. 10 seconds left for them to do it.
Oh, 5 seconds. Dask, huge clear. Can they keep it alive? Infinite can. Over to Tuna. Oh, if Tuna had gotten a nose on that one. Instead, Berto almost ends it, but the ball does touch the ground off the rebound, and Florida Tech will win our show match 2-0. But really a great effort by the Chads there. Of course, as we said, this tournament powered by Geico Military. Geico Military has been a partner of the USO since 1997, providing support to military service members and their families throughout their time in service. A huge thank you to Geico Military for being a force behind the forces. Florida Tech showing that they have what it takes to get it done. Again, that was a show match, so they will still go into the next week of the season 0-1 after they lost our first match of the night abstract, but definitely helping out the Chads there with a bit of a warm-up scrim. Should have our final match of the night all loaded up and ready to go here, Jim. Only week 1, so again, there's a lot of learning opportunities. Very curious to see, I would assume it won't be the Chads, what teams we get for our final official match of the night.
That would be quite a coincidence if it was
like,
hey, they were lined up already.
Hey, you know how you just played that show match? Can you now play your actual match?
It's just some warm-up.
Hey, again, I mean, warm-ups are a huge thing. I mean, I do hope that, you know, we already had seen Florida Tech. Again, don't know the Chad status on if they had played or not, but that is a, you know, maybe that's probably why we see teams really have struggled in Game 1. A lot of our Game 1s have been blowouts because maybe the other team, you know, they're like, okay, we'll just hop right into it. We don't need to run through a solo queue match. We don't need to run through any sort of, you know, quick play match. Let's just hop right into it. We'll be fine. So maybe that is why we have seen teams struggle a little bit here tonight, is because they haven't warmed up properly. So if it is the Chads, I'm sure that would be a great warm-up.
I'm sure it isn't. I'm sure it isn't the exact same teams. Or are they? Oh, it looks like we'll get one more show match. So
interesting. All right, we'll get one more show match here. I'd assume the scoreboard is just some technical issues, because right now it says it is 0-0. As there we go, a real reset. Tuna with a nice little goal.
Well, that's kind of the start that the Chads had last time. That's just some great individual. Actually, no, that's the communication that I think the Chads really needed to kind of push them to the next level. I think it might starting to be meshing for them.
I mean, the Chads have had some great kickoff goals. Haven't been able to put it together after that, as we do hear a demo. Looks like it was from Berto off screen. And a huge solo play there from Vision is turned away. And Grover now going to pop it up in the air. So far, the Chads now on defense for the first time. Everybody from Florida Tech very clumped up, and that's an easy stop for Tuna. And steals it away as well. Now it's all up to Tuna versus Dask, one-on-one. Dask with a nice stop.
Berto, that was pretty nicely lined up, but some nice interference by the Chads. Now they rotate back, not leaving that goal open. That has been something that both the teams have been doing fairly well. There have not been too many open goals left during this match, and Berto ties it up. I think that might have actually been an unfortunate own goal.
Get another look at it here. Berto has been a star player.
Yeah.
Yep, just an own goal. So hard to make those saves, because that ball would have landed in the net.
Yeah. I mean, you gotta go for it at least. You know.
Yeah, we've seen worse own goals in our time here, so that is nothing to be ashamed about. I think it was Vision. But again, everybody running the Stocktain, it is so hard to tell, as Das makes a nice save there. Vision, ooh, could land on the ball, maybe pop it up in the air. You see boost levels kind of low for Florida Tech. The Chads, though, not quite able to punish.
Now midfield, Vision goes, elevates up, is able to play it around one member of Florida Tech. Infinite picks up the boost midfield. He's going to be fighting for the ball, but they left it wide open there for Berto to score.
Berto is a guy you got to watch out for. He was fantastic in Florida Tech's loss earlier today, and I think already has, you know, multiple goals in this game now. Potentially another hat trick. I think he had one in our first game against the Chads as well. So Berto's a player, you know, Doc and I were kind of joking. You find one really good player and two of your friends, you can make things happen. Berto might be that player for Florida Tech, but a great dunk over by Vision, forcing Grover to retreat. You see right now, the only medals Dask and Grover have, Jem, are assists for Berto's 2 goals.
Yeah, he really seems to be the MVP here for Florida Tech. The way they've been playing and the way Berto's been playing, I would expect a lot for them in the following weeks just to see how they do overall in this tournament. Right now it's going to be stolen away from them by the Chads, looking to head into the goal, but the Chads, again, what kind of scored it for them, that first goal, was the great communication, but the Chads just have the tendency to kind of bunch up around the ball at times when they really shouldn't.
There he is.
And there's the hat trick.
Somebody get your mans. He is popping off. Look at this. Just perfect pass from Grover. Nothing Vision can do. You know, would like, you know, Berto to switch his bird singing goal scoring animation. I have seen it way too many times.
Oh, looks like it might have been an opening there off the kickoff for the Chads, but they're unable to score on that one. Grover, she pushes it back towards their own goal, unfortunately, but Berto, with a nice shot there, is able to get a clear, is now going to leave it for Dask, who actually drives right past it. Apparently they have another strategy in mind. They're just going to let Tuna clear it back over toward the goal. Now they look to get the goal. Oh, maybe I was right. It was all according to strategy.
Oh no, they had Berto wide open in the mid. That ball ping-pongs around. Dask getting a little bit too trigger happy there. Taking a very easy goal away from his team. Gotta watch out for that, but they still have a 3-1 lead. So they can't be too upset here as Vision kind of runs out of boost and just falls harmlessly to the earth. Not really able to get to that ball. Center here from Infinite. Not quite able to get to Tuna in time. Big explosion. Another huge explosion. Berto doing it all. 4 shots, 3 goals, 2 demos. I mean, just needs to add a save and an assist, and he'll be, you know, basically the MacGyver.
Berto passed over to Dask there. They're unable to find the clear that they're looking for, but Dask coming in clutch there with a very nice save. They still lead 2. Oh, no, they don't lead 2 anymore. Vision scores.
It's a great, just, you know, staying with this ball. Tuna takes a great shot. Infinite kind of sandwiching it for Vision right around Berto. Really good job by the Chads. Keeping in this game. Probably about a minute and a half or so left, I'd have to believe it. Vision off the kickoff. Dask, though, doing a really good job being in the perfect position.
There's the 1-minute warning there. Chads still have time to tie this back up. Stats looks to get a clear. Is going to be stopped right there. Berto, shot in mid-air, pushes it to midfield, stopped by Tuna. Grover keeps the clear going. They are able to get their side control back. Now Berto is going to be unable to play over Vision there. Dask is going to go mid-air, pass it over to Grover. What a great redirect there. That's insane.
30 seconds left here for the Chads. They need a huge clear. That's not what they needed until Infinite comes in. Tuna now in a one-on-one. Grover and Berto both retreating. Ball centered right in front of the net. Berto changes it quickly. Infinite off the back wall. Vision's going to put it in. Roughly 20 seconds left in this show match, and the Chads have tied things up.
We have seen kickoff goals being made within 20 seconds, so Florida Tech or Chads could still secure this match. Kickoff is going to go in favor of Grover there, but Vision off to the side is going to be able to get control of it. Chads with an opportunity here to get a goal. And rotating in is going to be Infinite. Pushes it off to side. They need to keep the ball in midair. Oh, no.
Just a bad hop. I think that was kind of a funky little just waterfall down, but we reset for overtime. Uh-oh, Berto almost wins it off the overtime kickoff. Huge play for Berto, who's been phenomenal. Vision now, pass over to Tuna, back to Vision. Oh, Berto makes a great save.
Still in overtime. First one to score a goal will win this third and final show match. The only opportunity for the Chads to get at least one victory today. And Infinite is going to pass it over to the side, leave it for Vision to try to center it up, but is going to run into some opposition from Dask there. Vision does manage to, but Infinite was too far back on the field to go for it. Tuna now able to steal the midfield boost.
No, we got a Rule 1.
Oh!
We did see someone break a Rule 1 earlier. Filthy Rule 1 breakers. Luckily, it seems like these two have honored it. Yeah, they are still stuck down there, so we're going to play 2-on-2. Infinite popping it up in the air. This is a scary spot to be. Infinite has to retreat, so it does look like it is Vision tied up with, I believe, Grover down there. They are still locked. I appreciate them honoring this. Doc in shambles right now. Doc is not a supporter of the Rule 1. Maybe you got to have a teammate over there to break it up, Jim, or do you just leave them battle that out for the next, minute or however long it takes?
I think that the novelty of playing 2-on-2 is whoa. Now that's a clear. I think the novelty of playing 2-on-2 is probably enough for those teammates to just keep that Rule 1 going.
They're still holding strong over there. You love to see it. Tuna. Oh, he's going to hit it over into the corner. Dask racing in. Oh, Tuna has a great opportunity. Lets it waterfall down. Infinite now. Oh, I feel like somebody's got to get over there and break this one up. They're just going to hang out there.
Ooh, and Berto going for the goal. They're going to be stopped by Infinite. We've seen some great saves from the Chads ever since this Rule 1 has started. They managed to clear it back over.
I'm really upset our timer is not working. I would love to see how long we've been in this Rule 1 for. As Berto will end the Rule 1 and end the game with their 4th goal of the night. Just a fantastic solo dribble here. Nothing Infinite could do.
Overall, very fun show match. 3 show matches, in fact, between Florida Tech and the Chads. The Chads definitely seem to improve a little bit with every single game, but Florida Tech still managing to win in the final.
Again, a reminder, this tournament powered by Geico Military. Geico Military has been a partner of the USO since 1997, providing support to military service members and their families throughout their time in service. Thank you, Geico Military, for being a force behind the forces. Wait to see if we do have one more game left, or if that was the final game of the night. And as we know, we transition potentially. Maybe we'll take a short break, though. I was going to say maybe we'll go into our Geico Military Player of the Night, but we will not. We'll take a short break. We'll see if we have more action around the corner. It's all coming up after this.
4 years have passed since the mortal races banded together and stood united against the might of the Burning Legion. Though Azeroth was saved, the tenuous pact between the Horde and the Alliance has all but evaporated.
My name is MA3 Sentinel, Adrian. I play World of Warcraft. A great game. I've been playing it for 14 years. My father, me and him play the same game, so it gives us a chance to talk to one another while also interacting with one another in a different type of reality.
I also play World of Warcraft. My younger brother plays. I do not play with either of my 2 parents, though my mother very often leans over my brother's shoulder and talks to me while him and I are playing.
At the USO, they give us Wi-Fi, free Wi-Fi. The Wi-Fi connects us with our game systems, and our game systems allow us to see certain people or talk to certain people back home.
Neither of us like phone calls. Neither of us like talking on the phone in any sense of the word. This gives us a much more interesting way to communicate with family members and friends, and it even allows us to continue to build off the relationships that we had previously. You know, personnel rotate commands all the time. We don't always get to see them, but we can always come back to these video games and use these video games as a way to communicate, keep up, see how things have changed, how their families are doing, stuff like that. And the USO is fantastic for facilitating that. They have beautiful facilities, wonderful Wi-Fi. It helps us out a lot with not only communicating with our families, but just overall morale as well. We're in a better mood. We take that mood back to the ships. Everybody else feeds off that better mood, and USO is just it's a chain effect, and they really do help a lot.
Depending on the area of operations that we're on, sometimes you don't even get internet connection. So going a couple months without internet, and then coming back to here, any way to contact my family was great.
The game itself provides an in-game chat through multiple different channels, faster than a text message, faster than Facebook Messenger.
There's a team chat, there's Discord, there's Twitch, and they're all just different programs that you can talk for free as long as you have Wi-Fi anywhere. My father, since he plays, a couple of my buddies, since they play, one of my brothers, he played for a little bit, but they all have that program. They all have a way for me to contact them back home without using cell service or anything like that. And that's one way that I constantly keep in contact with all my family. If it's not video, then it's talking through a headset.
I wanted to go on the
Welcome back into the Boise State Esports Arena here for the USO Invitational Qualifiers. Week 1 of our 6-week Swiss tournament here. Top 8 teams qualify for the USO Invitational with $10,000 of prize money on the line. I am Michael Fisher, joined by Jacob Jim Mountain Palmer. Time for our final official match of the night. Big shout out to Florida Tech and the Chads for throwing together a nice little 3-match show match for us there. But we are not done with Florida Tech, so it'll be Florida Tech JV taking on Aviation Nation in our final match. It's something that is very interesting to keep note of, especially if Game 1 does not go Florida Tech's way, Jem, is I've been told this is their first ever, Florida Tech JV that is, this is their first ever game together. So could be very interesting for Florida Tech JV. These first couple minutes, I could easily see Aviation Nation putting 2-3 goals on the board and exploiting that lack of, communication, familiarity between, the 3 members of Florida Tech JV.
Yeah, especially since it's such a backbone on what makes a Rocket League team good, and we've seen too many double commits we've seen triple commits from teams that have already played with each other tonight. So I'm a little bit concerned for Florida Tech's JV squad that they might not be performing at the level that their individual skills or rankings would necessarily reflect.
Florida Tech JV, Aviation Nation. See if Florida Tech JV can kind of make it to these first couple minutes here. Cool the nerves, or maybe they'll just score first. Never mind. Janky able to make a fantastic save on Retro. And so far, you'd never know that Florida Tech JV in the blue, this was their first ever 12 seconds together.
Well, yeah, so far so good for Florida Tech. They're going to drive it back off to the side, look for the clear here. Easton looking like they were about to get a shot there, but unable to. As they head back, rushing back toward their goal, and Apollo 17 is going to be credited with that first goal.
It's a great steal over Dimes there, and just racing back, beats everybody. Beaston and Feaston cannot quite get there in time. Just a nice little start for Aviation Nation, and that is what we talked about, though. Those are the communication breakdowns you would expect to see. Everybody pushing forward with the ball is Janky. Not quite able to get that one around Beaston, who bumps someone out of the way in the goal, but Stewie is still able to get a nice bicycle on it. Ball still on that orange side, though. Beaston setting up for a teammate. Nobody's home, though. And Dime's going to pop this one up in the air. Stewie plays it off the side wall. Pops up once again from Apollo. Oh, huge miss there by Beaston. That's going to allow Apollo to set up Janky for the game's second goal.
Overall, this is kind of what we feared. Unfortunate play there, and no one really in the goal to defend there. Florida Tech tried to rush in at the last moment, wasn't quite able to get there in time. Now ball pinched off to the side. Stewie is going to rush in there. Doesn't quite get the hit that he wanted. Now going to be in an awkward position, has to rotate back. This Easton. Now Janky's going to come in there. Get a demo, it looks like, but still unable to center it up quite yet. But Aviation Nation has a semi-comfortable lead, but 3 goals is really probably what they would need to start to really want to do a full defensive strategy.
I mean, one good news for Aviation Nation is Florida Tech JV has put together only 1 shot so far, more demos than shots. So offense still a little bit lacking here in this game 1. But again, like we said, this is their first ever game together, first ever 2 minutes they've spent on a Rocket League field together in a serious competition. So maybe the nerves have got to them. They do get another shot on goal, looking for a huge clear, but Dimes able to keep it on that orange side. Apollo immediately hits it right back. Beaston, nice stop at midfield. Janky, one little touch there, but Dimes keeps it alive. Florida Tech starting to mount some offensive pressure. They need to actually just find a couple shots. Finally, that ball gets cleared away, but Beaston immediately right back to the orange side.
Stewie is a nice shot there toward the goal. Not going to be credited with it, though. Too far to the left. Now Beaston's going to try to stop that there. Was the only one really rotating back far enough to be able to defend there. Now they're going to set it up again, but Aviation Nation gets a nice shot there to stop their onslaught a little bit. Now the play around from Retrospector there. Actually stole the boost away, but Aviation Nation is finding themselves a little bit starved on boost here, but Florida Tech just spent all of theirs, so they're not going to have too much to try to get a goal here.
Yeah, boost levels low across the board. A couple of them get those megas in the corners and midfield to refuel, but great touch there by Apollo. Gets stolen away by Retro. Now wants to play it off the roof. Gets it towards midfield. Apollo just gets a nice little touch on it to get it out of harm's way. Stewie off the side wall, hits it off the trunk of the car. Beeston not quite able to find it. Janky, gonna get a nice center to Apollo, just misses on it. Stewie hanging back in a great spot. He's gonna lob it down to the blue side. Is that 2-goal lead more than enough? Stewie barely misses a great shot. We saw a demo onto Retro, but he respawns with the ball in his lap. Can't quite dribble it out though. I don't think he was ready for that. And now Apollo's got to go retreating.
Ooh, nice shot there from Florida Tech at the last moment. I think that they had already kind of committed there to trying to get a clear. Apollo was just played right over, and you see right there was unable to elevate up. I think that was Janky there trying to elevate, but just the ball was shot right over him so fast by Easton there that Florida Tech got their first goal.
Oh, they might get another one. Retro barely misses. 1 minute left. Retro gets a fantastic steal. Bounces it back right in front of the net. Huge clear by Stewie with just, he gets immediately blasted. Oh, another great save by Dimes. Florida Tech keeps themselves alive. Retro racing down, looking for a pass to Dimes. Demoed instead. Beeston just misses. Florida Tech's got to be kicking themselves there.
Unable to score a goal there. The rest of the members of Florida Tech. Oh, great follow-up from Dimes there. That was certainly a wide open opportunity, but it was just a shot a little bit too far to the right there. Aviation Nation would love to clear it here and at least get some sort of side control for the last 20 seconds here. Janky was going to be credited with the shot on goal there. Stewie unable to elevate up high enough to stop that clear there, and that is going to be Florida Tech's opportunity to score the goal and get it tied up.
Just enough time on the clock. Apollo gets one touch on it. And I will say, the second half of this game, Florida Tech JV has had a fantastic amount of side control, and that is why they have clawed back from being down 2-0. See if anybody can score here to avoid overtime. Janky gonna dribble it up. Ball's probably, not gonna cooperate. Just immediately touch the ground and reset. Overtime here. We'll see if Aviation Nation can get back in control. Apollo with a great touch into the corner. Pops it over Beeston. Nobody's there for the follow-up, so now Dimes can just dribble it up the field, gets it around one. Centers it over to Beeston, who's racing in, but he can't get the ball fast enough over.
Retrospector looking for a clear here. He's going to leave it to Easton there. Stopped by Apollo 17. Dimes getting back control of the ball, leaves it for Retrospector there. Passes it past Stewie. Now they're going to want to center it up. One of their members is certainly waiting. Easton waiting for the play to follow through there. They have the follow-up set up, but unable to play it over Apollo 17 there. Game's going to still be tied.
Oh, Janky, nice little center there. Dimes going for the demo, takes Stewie out of the play. Once off the backboard, twice off the backboard. Dimes throwing small change everywhere. It's the game winner. A fantastic setup by all three members of Florida Tech JV, and now they're just one game away. 1-0 start here in our USO Invitational Qualifier. It's all powered by Geico Military. Geico Military has been a partner of the USO since 1997, providing support to military service members and their families throughout their time in service. Thank you, Geico Military, for being a force behind the forces. Game 2, hopefully in short order here. These teams have to be raring and ready to go after an overtime game, and really a tale of two halves, Jim. I thought in the first half of the game, really the first 2.5 minutes, Aviation Nation dominated, had a 2-0 lead, looked unstoppable. Florida Tech, as we mentioned, Florida Tech JV, working together for the first time ever. They kind of calmed those nerves down and really took over the second half of that game. The fact they didn't win in regulation, just a testament to how good the defense of Aviation was.
And I think that's kind of overall a little bit kind of the loose guidelines that we kind of expected, because like we said, the first time the Florida Tech junior varsity team is competing together. They just needed a little bit more time to get everything together, and I still think there are still probably a few cobwebs that out there, just whole team dynamics that sometimes take multiple games to form here. So for Florida Tech Junior Varsity to be performing as well as they are, just later in this tournament, I think they'll be a real force.
Well, let's kick off game 2. We have a bit of an error in our scoreboard, though. It is 0-0 with 5 minutes on the clock. Should reset when a goal is scored. As Dimes continuing this pressure that Florida Tech had for so long. It's a great pass over. Unfortunately, nobody home for Florida Tech, as now Janke will drive it up the field. Apollo looking for that first goal once again. Dimes with a great stop. Apollo gets one more chance at it, pops it up in the air for Stewie. Barely dunking around Beeston, but now Retro in control of this ball.
Janke is going to center it up there, stopped by Florida Tech there, so that was a great little stop to their play. Just going flying past the ball there, that's going to allow it wide open for the clear to go through there. Aviation Nation Janke is going to be centering it up around the corner, but unable to find it.
Nice clear there by Aviation Nation. Dimes, clear stop by Stewie off the back wall. Beeson with a great job redirecting that one. Janke comes in. Retro makes a huge save. Now Apollo has to race down. Retro trying to get an aggressive angle to that ball. Sets up Beeston for the first goal of the game. It's an aggressive angle here by Retro. Look at that read.
Now slight lead there for Florida Tech. We head on into the rest of the game. Goes slightly in the favor of Florida Tech there. Apollo 17 with the bicycle. An almost shot on goal there from Florida Tech. They might do it again though. Bounces off the crossbar, no follow-up. Easton is going to try to center it up. Unable to, as Janke is playing some great interference.
Dimes looking for a clear. Not quite able to get it. Beeston now gets a great touch on it. Over to Retro. Stolen away by Janke. Dimes racing back to get there in time. Will do just that. Gets the pass up to Retro on a great give and go. I don't really know if Retro was ready for Dimes to steal that one away, though. And everyone will go retreating. Dimes looking for a pass to Retro now. Drops it in perfectly. One-on-one here. Got Beeston near midfield. Probably tried to rush that pass just a little bit. As Dimes now looking for a center here, but Apollo just going to deny that and clear it away.
Aviation Nation looking for their clear, but Easton's going to stop that. Dimes is still hanging back in the field, though. Doesn't want to rotate up too far for Aviation Nation to score on. Easton stops that play, leaves it in midfield. Retrospector's going to pass it back over to Dimes. Dimes is able to steal the corner boost. Retrospector with a nice shot there. He's going to push it over to the corner. Now looking for the center here. Over to Dimes, down toward the goal. Is going to find it.
Beeston scoring almost all these goals. Starts with a great setup off the back wall. Realizes Dimes' shot just doesn't have enough oomph. So he helps it in the goal himself. Great read or adjustment there by Beeston. Instead of falling back, realizing, you know what, I can help my teammate out. Give us a 2-0 lead here in game 2. Get us closer and closer to that 1-0 start here in the USO Invitational Qualifiers. As Stewie looking to have a way for Aviation Nation to get back in the game. Demoed from behind. But Janke with a great steal before Dimes makes his third save of the game. Apollo shot just wide of the net. And Florida Tech survives a major scare. Looking to turn it on him. Oh, huge demo defensively for Aviation.
Now in the corner. Ooh, Easton was able to center it up. Dimes is able to stop the ball from heading toward the corner, leaving it for Retrospector. That is an insane hitting on the break right there, leaving just enough time for Spector to rush in and get the third goal.
Dimes will say that was all calculated. I think that one just kind of rolled into him, and he realized, like, wait, I have possession now. So luck out here for Florida Tech. They're in complete command of this game. They just needed that first 2.5 minutes of game one to settle the nerves. Beeston's got the hat trick. Florida Tech JV looks like they are more than likely going to come away with this victory when it's all said and done.
Well, now that they have a big enough lead, they can kind of switch their mindset. They don't have to make sure that they rotate too far up the field. They can now go for more of a just kind of burn the clock off mindset. Janky is going to get a save there, though. Dimes still wants to score a few goals, but Dimes is actually going to be able to rotate back to stop a shot there from Aviation. Off to the right there, they're going to score fifth!
Florida Tech JV looking like a very strong team. Never believed this is only the second game they've played together. The first one being the game they just played. 5-0 here in game two. Well on their way. Feels like there's probably about, just under a minute on the clock. That one will roll in for Apollo, but too little too late here, I think, for the side of Aviation Nation.
Yeah, it would have to be 15 seconds per goal. That would basically have to be 4 kickoff goals, right after another. They barely have any time. So anytime that Florida Tech can just get good possession of the ball and be able to maintain side control, I think that they will be able to put away this win.
Not even be able to add a goal. Oh, Retrospector gets his shot denied by his own teammate. But as you said, any time that gets taken off the clock is just closer and closer we come to a Florida Tech victory. Beastin with a huge shot. Dime's second shot goes wide. Retro's going to get in on the shooting. Not quite able to find those. Janky makes a great save. 30 seconds left, down 4 goals. Great battle here for Aviation Nation, but I think it's safe to assume that Florida Tech JV is going to win this one.
Well, Aviation's definitely going to make a try there, but Retrospector with a great read is going to stop that shot on goal. Less than 10 seconds left. No real shot for Aviation to get a win here, so all that ball has to do is hit the ground, and Florida Tech will get their win.
And the ball will touch the ground. Florida Tech JV do what Florida Tech V could not do. That was pick up a win in round 1 of our USO Invitational Qualifier powered by Geico Military. Saw some fantastic games here today from everybody, including a fantastic show match as well. Setting up to be a great tournament here. As we mentioned, it is a 6-week Swiss bracket. So each of these teams get 1 game a week. Potentially heard that, some people believe starting 0-1 in a Swiss bracket is better than starting 1-0. I'm not a believer of that, but we'll have to see if one of our teams we saw start 0-1 can make a nice run. Well, this tournament is powered by Geico Military. Geico Military has been a partner of the USO since 1997, providing support to military service members and their families throughout their time in service. Thank you, Geico Military, for being a force behind the forces. As we prepare to wrap this one up, Jem, and put a bow on all of it, what are your thoughts from what you saw here tonight?
I think overall, I was really impressed with Florida Tech JV's ability to have such a great... I think that they're probably going to be one of the teams that you watch out for, because if this was only their first game, as they get more comfortable playing as a team, they will be able to... I think we're looking at a top-tier team forming before our eyes.
I think Florida Tech is both the varsity team and the JV team, as you said, could be really a menace. They could maybe control this whole tournament. Again, the varsity team's going to start out on the 0-1 side of things. The JV team's going to start out on the 1-0 side of things. Well, as we prepare to wrap up, we do have our Geico Military Player of the Week here, and we saw a couple players a few times. Any names really stand out to you, Jem, as a leading candidate for our Geico Military Player of the Week?
Well, it's going to be a little bit hard for me to predict because there were 2 games that, before I was here. So it could be, production really wants to catch me off guard. They could choose a player from one of those games. So.
Yeah, I think Beeston would be a great choice from the games we saw towards the end there, especially for the Florida Tech JV team. It really felt like it was, one player scoring all of the goals. Every game felt like we had someone throwing in a hat trick. So it'd be a very tough choice. Beeston really took over it felt like that last game, and maybe it's just the recency bias since it is the game we saw last. So that would be my vote, but we will have to see who is the recipient of the first Geico Military Player of the Week. As we said, this is just week 1 of a 6-week Swiss bracket, so there's plenty of time for teams to come back. Sweet. Wait to see here who our player of the game is going to be. It's a tough debate. We did only see one. We only saw, besides, Florida Tech, we did get the luxury of seeing in a show match. We only saw each team once. So it is a very, very tough decision for production to come up with who they think the Geico Military Player of the Week is going to be.
Yeah, but we definitely saw a lot of great solo plays and certainly a few hat tricks. So if you wanted to all select from just one game, you could just do the 3 goals that one player got during a game, and there you go.
Yeah, Beaston, like I said, I think Beaston had a hat trick and also had a couple goals in that game. One of them, of course, Dimes had the game winner in overtime. I always love overtime game winners, but I don't know if Dimes had too many other, crazy goals. So definitely going to be an interesting one. Like I said, we only had a chance to see each team once. They only play one official game a week. Like I said, we did see Florida Tech twice, though. That wasn't a show match situation, which was very, kind of them. And here we go. Here is the Geico Military Player of the Week. And it's going to be KX. No. Beaston. It is Beaston. Apologies for that. So great job by Beaston there, able to pick up that one. Player of the game brought to you by Geico Military. Geico Military has been a partner of the USO since 1997, providing support to military service members and their families throughout their time in service. Thank you, Geico Military, for being a force behind the forces. And Beaston and Feaston, it's your Geico Military Player of the Week.
Yeah, Beaston was definitely a great player for the JV squad, and the amount of play between those, you wouldn't guess that this was their first game, is still amazing to me.
Those first 2 minutes of game 1 were very, very sketchy, and you're like, okay, Aviation Nation had a 2-goal lead, maybe things are going to go south, and then they just turned it around in a hurry. Forced overtime. I think it was Beaston who actually forced overtime with about 5 seconds on the clock in game 1. And then, as you saw there, the hat trick absolutely took over in game 2. Well, as we prepare to close this week out, don't forget we will have this every single week for the next few weeks as we get through this Swiss bracket every Thursday from 4 to 6 Mountain Time. But, Jem, do you have any final takeaways from the games we saw tonight? Maybe any advice for the teams that started 0-1 who are looking to get back into that top 8 when things are all said and done?
I think the main thing that we saw that needs to be improved on is the communication and rotation. Just a little bit too many double commits that have been seen tonight, but I think they'll have plenty of time to improve on that, and as the weeks go on, I can only imagine more great plays are going to be made.
Well, that will do it for our show tonight. Before we conclude with our Geico Military Top 5, we do want to give a major thank you to all of the competitors. Cannot wait to see you guys in future weeks, as well as Geico Military. Thank you for tuning in. Be sure to follow the USO on Twitter at the USO and join the USO Discord at discord.gg/the USO. That's it for week 1. We've still got plenty of great action coming your way, so don't forget to tune in next week. But until then, here are your Geico Military Top 5 plays.
Wow.
Tech hasn't even gotten one on net. His sky shot just barely rolls wide. Bumping, looking to center it up for Schmack. There it is.
It lingers around that long, you're going to catch people out of rotation. We talk about creating mistakes. If you do not let them have the opportunity to set up again, that's what you get. You get mid-rotation.
You know, maybe you're right. Maybe when prize money is on the line, the Rocket League overlords decide that Rule 1s are okay, but that's definitely not something we want to encourage. Supposed puts another one in. It took them longer to get going, but much like Game 1, Perron looking like they're going to pull away from this one and win pretty handily.
Yep, Perron sitting there and...
More time as Colorado gets the ball out of harm's way. Immediately recentered, your boy Rich. Can't find the touch on it, but Smondo can eventually, giving Eclipse the 1-0 lead.
Now that puts them in a great position to win this match outright. Great team play there. Nicely well.
Nice steal there. Huge clear down. Can he play the rebound? No. Overdrove it. Berto, though. Top corner. Give him the hat trick. Florida Tech's got the 4-1 lead.
It's a great play. Great play there by Berto, pushing them to that corner. Now looking for the center here. Over to Dimes, down toward the goal. Is going to find it.
Beasted, making, scoring almost all these goals. Starts with a great setup off the back wall. Realizes Dimes' shot just doesn't have enough oomph. So he helps it in the goal himself. Great read.